chasing, leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played.
G'day everybody, it's Seano again, and today we're going live with a bit of a chat, AFL Supercoach chat. If you're out there and you'd like to chat, hit me up in the chat box, and yeah, just a bit of a chat to see how everyone's going this week, and to see how we're going this week, and to see if we can decide what we want to do. We've got a few decisions with our team this week. As usual, if you want to give me your team name, we will try and have a look at your team if you want to do that, and see if I can give you any advice, or maybe you could give me some advice one way or the other. A quick look at the team. If you've missed my other two videos, definitely appreciate if you go back and check them out. The trade talk video, and before that the team review video this week. Didn't do too well this week. Was better than some, but still not great. And considering I didn't have a lot of these Port Adelaide or Bulldog players, I'd say this is a pretty low score. If I had the Rosies and the Horn Francis and stuff for the world and I got this score, I might have been happy, but I didn't, and I still got a low score. So not exactly a great score, and dropped another 1,600 or so places. So yes, we're dropping down. We're going down. We did win our league match, as you guys know if you've been watching. Yep, the league is very important to me. This one, the big league. We moved up into 4th place, which is very nice. And so hopefully coming out of the buys, we'll be in that top 4 still, and that will give us the best chance possible of winning our league at the end of the season. We also play 4 draft leagues. Next year, what I'll probably do is I'll probably create a league for you guys out there watching, and a YouTube league, and a league, and I always do a few drafts, and always set them up myself, because I don't know, some people when they set their drafts up, it's like they just do crazy things, like they want 22 million players on the team with 40 million people on the sub, and it just doesn't makes it not that much fun. So I usually set up a few drafts, but I'll make them open to you guys to come and have a muck around and a draft with me if you like. So back to the team. If you guys are kind of busy and you just want to see what I'm doing with my team, I'll go through it for you now. In the way of trades. Now I've got a few sneaky ones who'll do my trades, who I'm thinking of now, and then we can go back and do a little bit more research on other people out there, and like other players, or if your team, if you're around, who you might think of doing. So this is how we're going to set up our team this week. Sinclair is obviously going to be not playing. Hopefully, I think we can do Richmond play fairly early, so I think we can do a loophole with him. Everything's a bit slower when you're streaming. She's back on the field. Kako, I think do we do it this way? I thought there was a way we could loophole Kako, but maybe we can't. Okay, so that's how the team will look this week. Kako on the field, sorry, for Brayshaw. And then I've got coverage here if I need it, and coverage here if I need it. I guess I could always drop, if Sims has a really good game, we could bring down Tom Gross and then put Daniel on here instead of Kako. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe a bit more like that, hey? Oh no, just getting Kako's back up there. That doesn't work. That doesn't work, Seano. Alright, for the moment we'll leave it like that. It might change once we've done our trades. Yeah, I'd love to hear your team OMB film reviews. You want to have a look at your team? We can have a look at your team if you want. What's the name of your team? That's bright. Rivalries. Set up a rivalry. OMAC. That's the name of your team. You're not sure of the name of your team? Oh, shoot. Can't read it with the dark reader on. Can't read it. Ollie with an O. This one, there's actually two called OMAC. So the capital O for Ollie, you're on now. So I'm assuming that's going to be you, Ollie. Yes, that's you. Okay, cool. Let's have a look and see how you're going, buddy. Tell me too, how many trades and boosts do you have left as well? Nice to meet you, Ollie. Thanks for jumping on. And thanks for having a bit of a chat. Love to have a chat with the viewers out there. It's not great, but you're improving. Hey, buddy, it's Supercoach is one of those things, right? You can be very up and down. You scored more than me last round. I give you that much. Let's have a quick look at your team. So you got 3 trades and 3 tardy boosts left. 3 boosts left. Okay, three trades and 3 boosts. So you got lots of boosts, which is a good thing. It means you can you have 3 trades and only 3 trades. That can't be right. Can it? Just 3? I don't even know if it's possible to only have 3, especially if you've still got 3 boosts left. Maybe that's a typo. Maybe that's a typo. 3 boosts is a lot. 3 trades for this round. What about in the completely though, buddy, is what I kind of meant. If you've got 3 boosts, that's a lot. So you can afford to, if you've got like over 20 trades, you can boost like a madman to try and improve your team for the end of the season. If you feel like it. Alright, your back line, Whitfield, Zorko, nice. Salem, I like the Chris Salem. I like it. I like the pick. I thought about it myself early on the season. Harris Andrews, nice, bit of a pod. Bice, probably time to get rid of Bice with that 9. Very unfortunate situation there. So you're probably trying to get rid of Bice. Hasty not playing this week. He didn't play last week either. That's unfortunate. Carroll, is this gentleman playing? This gentleman can't be playing, right? Yes, that was annoying. He was subbed, wasn't he? I believe he was a sub. All the rookies were subs this week. Even the good rookies were subs this week. It was one of the very, very annoying. Like you got a 9 and you still scored more than me, so don't be too upset about this week. So yep, you got Carroll in the back line. Hopefully I'm the same. I'm hoping he's going to come back and play. You got Clark to get in this week. So, you know, maybe for one of these dudes here, maybe for Hasty, you could make a little bit of money, or you could swap someone out in the midfield if you want. Hanley out, and then put Clark in the background, in the back line. So definitely I'm getting Clark in, and from what we've seen, he's just the best option this week. And with the way money goes, I don't know, have you got yourself much money? You got yourself a little bit of a bankroll? If you do, that's very nice. If not, Clark seems to be the way to go this week. And then after that, they're a bit iffy, the other rookies, but Clark seems to be the go, and he is a defender, so I'd probably be getting him into your team this week. Smith, Will Ashcroft, yep, doing pretty well, averaging 103, very nice. Dacos has been good. You traded Bice for Sam Taylor. Already for Sam Taylor? Sam Taylor? Oh, I don't know if I'd be doing that, buddy. His scoring has not been great. I'd probably prefer if you went down to a Clark and then tried to get up to someone a little bit more expensive. Can we do this now? There we go. We can do this now. I'd probably prefer, if it was my team, that you were going down from someone like a Hanley to a Clark, swapping Hasty in the midfield down there, Hanley to Clark, get yourself about 80k or something, and then if you can afford going Bice, up to somebody. I don't know how much money you got, being the fact that it's after the buys. Rosie's a bit expensive and hasn't been in the best form lately. I mean, you could go early on Mills, depending on how you are for that buy round. You have to be a bit careful for that buy round, and if you trusted Mills, maybe. I think I would go Mills over Sam Taylor, depending on your buys. I believe GWS has the last buy, and I think, I'm not for, they're in round 15, is it? Round 14. Round 14 for Sydney, so that's what I would probably prefer. I mean, that Sam Taylor guy, he doesn't seem to have much of a ceiling, and he can get some low scores. The jury is still out on Mills, whether he's going to be put back in that midfield and start scoring big, but I think he's got a bigger upside for your team. If it was me, obviously if you got enough money to go up one of the more premium type guys, like the Rosie, or coming into the buys, you've got to be very careful who you get, that it doesn't affect your buys. It leaves you still a good 18 plus a couple, hopefully 19 or 20 players for the next couple of rounds. I know I'm going to be struggling a little bit in round 16. We'll go through a little bit of that later on. Is Bice injured? I think he was I don't know. I think he was just the sub, right? Let's have a look. At the game. Riley Bice. The form which causing the question is job security. Subbed off at half time for Cleary. So no, he just had 9 points up to half time. That's a worry, right? Doesn't say he's injured or anything. Just says he was off. And they're saying who's taking all these points? They reckon Mitchell. Mitchell. Where's this Mitchell fella? Where is this Mitchell fella that they're talking about? Okay, Caleb Mitchell, is it? Starting on a wing. Well, wasn't Riley Bice supposed to be like in the back line, taking marks and stuff? Yeah, so that's pretty rough. I think just with the amount of money he's going to drop, it's time to get off him. He's got a break even of 110. He's going to lose money. He's made your money now. His role has obviously changed a little bit. So you definitely want to get off him. But I don't know if I like the Sam Taylor pick. I mean, he just doesn't have a lot of upside as far as I can see. Yeah, no worries, Ollie. No worries, buddy. I love having chat Supercoach with people and looking, checking out other people's teams. It makes me happier when I don't have to look at my own team at the moment. And if I'm not quoting that I'm some type of expert, but I do put in a lot of research and I do spend a bit of time on it. So I think I do have some reasonable thoughts, and if I can help you out in some way, I'll try my best. I mean, obviously take my advice with a pinch of salt. It is I am no expert, and my credentials probably go that I've been playing a long time, and usually I finish in the top 10 to 5%. So I normally do okay. I've never finished in the top 100 or anything like that. I think the best I ever did is when I came out of the buys one time. I was in just under 200, and then by the end of the season though, it stretched out to I finished in like 600 or 500 spots. That's the best I've ever done. But I do play every year, and I do take it kind of seriously, and I do quite a bit of research. Bailey Smith, yep, like Sidebottom's been killing it. This is a good pick, I think. He's like, no one's talking about him, but he's been absolutely killing it, so definitely nice. Levi Ashcroft was a sub this week. Hopefully, a lot of people are saying, Brisbane followers, that it might just be because it was a short turnaround. They gave him a bit of a rest because he's a young kid. Hopefully he doesn't lose his spot or start as a sub this week. It might be, time to be looking to move him on at some point. Murphy Reed, I had him, was excellent. He's got a low break even again, so that's nice. Going to start going up in money again, so I'd hold on to him. He's not playing this week anyway, so you might as well, he's going to make you money, and it's not going to hurt having him. Kako, fine. We discussed Hanley's not playing, so he might be an avenue for you to make some money unless he comes back. Archday Wicks is doing Archday Wicks things. Sarah and Sheasel, yep, obviously Cheesel's going to be coming on for Hanley, I assume, for this week. Both, we don't know what's going on with Sheasel. Nick Watson for Limsky. Again, I don't know if I love that pick. Just with I think at this time, depending on how many total trades you've got left, this time of year you really want to try and be getting premiums into your team. You don't want to be getting mid prices or too many value options. Now, as usual, Ollie, on my channel, I always say, do what I say and not what I do, because I'm looking to bring in some value options this week. After we've had a look at your team, I'll show you what I'm looking to do, I tell everybody else not to do something, and then I do it myself and I get punished for it. But I think, I don't know about how's he been scoring. I think he's a bit up and down as well, right? I don't know if he has a ceiling either. He's cheap. I like the fact that he's cheap. He got an 11 3 weeks ago. That's why he's cheap. But he hasn't scored 100 all season. And he might be under concussion. Expected time to be recovery. So he might not even be playing this week, buddy. So you might want to keep an eye out for that. I personally wouldn't go there. No hundreds. He doesn't look like he's got a lot of upside to him, except the fact that he's really cheap. I'd only be going there if I was absolutely desperate and I couldn't afford anybody else. Even then, I think there's probably better options. You might even be able to get a rookie that scores more than him and makes you money. Like, he's not going to make you any money unless for some miracle he starts scoring big. And the fact that he's got that concussion there, I probably wouldn't go there either. Did you say, have you got much money in the bank? You got much money in the bank? Sherry, this is me. Cameron and DeConing, I guess both the two big boys cost a lot, so you'd love to have a Gorn or a Sherry here, but I mean, you probably just can't afford those big boys. Barely any money. That's always a problem, isn't it? That's the problem I've got too. Even though I still think with picks like the Taylor and that and Lipsky, it's still better to get. I mean, we don't really have many rookies so far, but if you got like a Clark in the back backfield, the cheapy Clark, the Essendon Clark in the back line, and that Luke Pedler dude who I'm not sold on in the forward line, you would make some money and then maybe go one up, get one premium, buy two rookies, get one premium. You've got 3 trades this round during the buys, and so maybe go 2 down and get a premium that you really want, whoever that might be. De Koning, I mean, he's holding his place for you there, which is fair enough. Obviously, like we said, you might want one of the big boys or a proper ruck. The big boys are 700k each, so that's like ridiculous amount of money. I don't think anyone who doesn't have them who can afford that. Baker, I'm an Eagles supporter, so I think Baker was a reasonably good pick at the beginning of the season. He's done okay, averaging 90, it's fine. Hogan, definitely understand why you went there. He had an awesome season last year, he just hasn't backed it up this year. If he can turn it around, that could be fine, but at the moment he's not really performing for you. Toby Green, I bought Toby Green last week. This is one of these value options that I tell people not to do, that I went and did myself. I think it's reasonable without much money. I got him because I didn't have much money either, and he got a rookie off the field, and he was cheap, and he can. The good thing about Toby Green, as opposed to these other 2 boys you're talking about, Toby Green can smack out 120. If Toby Green gets 3 goals, 2 to 3 goals, he can smack out 120. He can also get you these 60s. He'll score 8 goals, yeah. I mean, if he gets some forms, he was one of the better forwards last year, so if he comes into a bit of form, you could definitely score a lot. And I can see you got other problems like trying to get some of these rookies. You're always trying to want to get the rookies, off the field. Here's a Nick Watson. Ben Keys got you 100 this week. I think it's Ben. Is it Ben or is it Bo? He's a 3 break even, so he's going to make you some money, which is fine. Oh, he was 8. 90, 8, 99, 100. 40, 60, 90, 70. He's actually, as a cheap option, he's actually pretty reasonable. As a cheap option, he is pretty reasonable. He's getting you average scores. Nick Watson, what's he doing for you? He's probably going to be on the chopping block, like you said. Yep, definitely. Even if you got like the peddler kid for him, at least you'd be making money. Patton, I had Patton as well. Parker and Berry, I guess, are coming back on the field this week, so there'll be two on the edge. And Rowell, I got Rowell last week as well, who's been performing kind of nicely. So yeah, I sympathise. You've got a few problems there. It's going to be tough to dig yourself out of a bit of a hole. But I think your best bet is, buddy, just try and get some more primos into your team. Downgrade to whatever rookies are available. Good, you're just like me. You've got a few rookies that are playing and a few rookies that aren't playing. I think Bice is probably your number one issue, considering he's got 110 break even. Definitely go Clark down from somebody, Bice up to the, I think coming out of the buys, I can't look at the buys for yours, but either pick someone where you don't have many on that coming buy, or someone like a Rosie. Rosie's a little bit expensive, and he hasn't been that good. That's why I'm not looking at him in the last few rounds. He's been very good since they moved him to that halfback role, but the last couple of rounds he's just been a little bit down. I believe his break even's about 130, so he could come down some more, but doesn't look like you've got a lot of people out this week. What is it, St Kilda and Freo? You've got Reed's not going to be playing. Hasty's already not playing. So even if you didn't do your upgrade this week, you just do a couple of downgrades, that still could be fine. Maybe, downgrade Bice to Clark. You don't have to upgrade someone in the back line straight away, because you're already going to have Carroll's going to come back. And, then you're only going to be missing one in the back line. I think once Carroll comes back, here you're not going to be missing any. You probably have Kako on the bench once you bring these two boys back. And you have Kako and Wicks on the bench, both playing. But both will be playing, and here Parker, and I think has Barry been playing? So I think you can always do something like that, Bice down to Clark, and then if you want to, a Watson down to Pedler. It's going to bank quite a bit of money for you. That's going to bank you, so there's 200k there, and it'll be about 150 there. That's like 350k that you could put on the top of whoever you like. So, you know, 250k on the top of 250 or 350k on top of Hanley gets you a 540,000 player. Yeah, so you've got all them playing again. So the only primo I see, you're gonna in your back line, even in your back line, if Carroll plays, you've got looks like you've got full team. You don't have many of those players out. That's why you can afford to not. You don't really have to say, oh, I have to make a defender for Bice. You can always go the rookie for Bice and have the rookie just play on the field and maybe upgrade like a Hanley to a 530 or a 550 player, you know, of your choice. Maybe it's a Bulldog, maybe it's you know, you got the 4 teams which are on their bye last week, the Bulldogs, Carlton, North Melbourne and Port. They're your best players to get, just because when it comes to their bye, but it comes to the following buys, they're going to play all the way through and you're not missing anybody. But then obviously they're not the best value players around. Like, you've got people like Jai Cadwell who are good value, but you've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, 5, 6, 7 of people out in that round 16 buy. So you probably couldn't get him just because you've already got too many people out. Yeah. So I think that'd be my plan if I was you, buddy. Get at least one of those rookies. Definitely get Clark. Then potentially get Pedler as well if he's named. The reason I don't love Pedler as a pick, one is because he's a little bit more expensive. He's 150 instead of the 113 bargain basement, and also he kicked goals to get those scores. The last 2 weeks he's kicked goals to get his scores. I'm a little bit afraid if he doesn't kick the goals, what's his score going to be? So last week he kicked 1 goal off 10 possessions and got a 67. That's not bad. That's not terrible for only 1 goal. You would take that every day of the week if they did that every week. No problems, Ollie. I hope I was a little bit of help. And the week before he kicked 2 goals, 1 against West Coast. So I don't think he's going to be ticking two goals, 1, and he got himself a 79. But, you know, if he gets 10 possessions, 5 tackles, that's a good thing. He adds a bit of pressure, and he's got a couple of free kicks for his 1 goal for 67. So he's not terrible. If job security wise, I'm not sure how Adelaide are going. Like for him, if he's going to be in there, I'd definitely be checking the team sheets. I can't see Clark getting dropped. He kicked 3 goals and played really well. Not this week just gone, but the week before. And this week he played okay, but he had a tough matchup. So I think they're both valid options, mainly because we don't have any other options this week. But I think Clark seems a little bit more reliable, and he probably has a little bit more job security, just considering Essendon have a ton of injuries. So, I mean, that would be, again, especially if you said you've got boosts as well. So, I mean, I don't know if I'd use a boost this week, but maybe after next week, hopefully we get some more rookies. I don't know where they're going to come from. Kind of hoping that the Eagles are going to play our mid-season draft rookie this week. Whatever they do, though, whatever happens, if they play that 99 cookie, they play the cookie this week. If they play the rookie this week, I must be a bit hungry here talking about cookies. If they play the rookie this week, don't get on him until next week. That I thought he is in one of the most traded in players this week, and that's just crazy. 1, he hasn't even been named yet, and 2, as an Eagles supporter, these people trading in Tom McCarthy, I think his name is. Tom McCarthy or McCarthy. This week, have they not been watching how Minnie McWalter down at Tom McCarthy? Have they not been watching the Eagles games? There's about a 99% chance, even if he doesn't start as a sub, that he will be the sub, and he could play 1 week and be dropped. There's no way I'm getting this kid in. There's no way that I'm getting him in until I can see that he's played at least another match, plays 2 matches, and then he's named for the 3rd match. So it's absolutely, unless people are just like want a dead rookie on their bench, which I never advise getting a dead rookie unless it's absolutely necessary. The one good thing is he does have defender mid status, which is nice, but I've already got one dead defender mid status in Saad El Houli. I think I actually did okay at saying his name. Normally we mess it up every single time. So I think if he does play for 3 matches, that's going to be awesome. But whatever you do, don't go in this week. Don't follow that crowd. That's just crazy talk. That is a way to just make sure you have another dead rookie on your field. And who knows, Essendon with all these injuries, they may play one of their 99k rookies. So they've probably got a few of them now. I haven't even had a bit of a look. Players, let's have a look. Filters, Essendon. We can say play less than 3 matches. Down the bottom here. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Essendon have all at 99k. They got a ruck at 99k. Archer May, a forward at 99k. Another forward, 3 forwards and a ruck. All at 99k. Well, we could do with a forward. That would be really nice. One of these forwards would like to play. That would be helpful. And for the ruck, well, I've already got Boyd sitting there as a non-playing 99. Again, don't go on any of these guys early. How long's this guy injured for? 19. That's unfortunate. He's got defender mid status as well. But yeah, so they've got a ton of them. They've got a ton of available. While we're in this section, let's have a look at if there are any other cash cows. There was the guy whose name I pronounced incorrectly all through my trade video, Keeler. This dude, I think I was calling him Kiefer. Someone pointed out to me, like, Seano, you dropkick, you were calling him the wrong name. I was like, yes, certainly was. So he's got a negative 32. Seems reasonable. A couple of 60s in the last week. So he is another option for you, buddy. Ollie, if you needed a downgrade and you had to be a forward, because we've got Clark as a defender and the other one, Pedler is a forward, and this guy's a forward. So interesting. Put Clark in your team. You definitely got to have Clark this week, buddy. You definitely got to have Clark. I think it's just, even if some disaster happens like every other rookie we've got, for Matthew Carroll, I don't know if Carroll's the one I'd be trading out of your team, mate. Because at least Carroll's playing, right, at the moment. If Carroll's not named, fine. Trade away. I'd much prefer that you traded out. Did Hasty play? Has Hasty been? I mean, Hasty might come back, right? Oh, he hasn't played since round 5. So, and he's only worth 134. I'd much prefer if you did something like Hanley. At least you're making some money and Hanley's not playing, right? Unless Hanley is named. When was the last time Hanley played a game? 5. I mean, even if he did, his scores have been pretty average, 7. I'd much prefer out of your team if you swung, like, got rid of Hanley, swung Hasty into the middle and got him. At least then you would make 80k. If you said you were short, but you make even more. You make even more this way, mate. Carroll, if he doesn't play, fine. But if, at least over the next, not so much about this round, but the following rounds, that having that extra rookie that might come out and get you a 40, and plus his break even isn't that bad. It's only 35. So I was kind of considering similar things with Carroll, but considering it's only 35, he can make you money when he comes back. So if I had your team, buddy, I would be dumping Hanley, I'd be moving Hasty into the midfield, and I'd be getting Clark there. And that way you're doing the best out of your DPP action and getting some extra money like that way. I mean, he's a mid forward as well, right? So you could even go down to Watson. Yeah, I think if I had your team, that's what I'd be doing. You're going to need every player over the next few rounds, and you've got a lot of round 16 type players, and even though he's a rookie, he's an Essendon rookie, and Essendon have a round 16 bye. So like me, you just got to take him because he's a rookie, but at the same time, you don't want, I wouldn't be getting in any premiums for that round if I was you. I wouldn't be like, oh look, I want a Jai Cadwell or a Nocky Neal or something like that, just because of how many you've already got. But that way you would make more money, and you would have more money to put on top of someone's head. So if you did that, and then you got one of the other forward dudes, so you were talking about getting rid of Nick Watson, get rid of Nick Watson for either Pedler or the Keeler dude, and you're making like another 150k-ish there. And so then at least then you've got like, you've got a couple of 100k, and you can try and put that on the top of somebody's head. Alex, yes, we can have a look at your team. What's the name of your team? I'm going to be 2 seconds and I'll be right back, Alex. Pop your name in the chat of your team, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just got to do something very quickly. I'll be right back. So just pop it in chat and I'll be right back.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll
All right. Oh, by the way, Ollie, just in that little run away I did, don't get Keeler from St Kilda this week. He's on his bye. If you want him as a rookie, you get him the week after. So don't get him this week. Look at, for your two options, probably rookie-wise, there's probably Clark from Essendon and Pedler from Adelaide. And as I said, I prefer Clark over Pedler because he's cheaper and I think he has better job security. Pedler, if you're that strapped for cash, you just might have to go there. All right, let's click on a rivalry. Can we make him a rival? Can we make you add rivalry? There we go. All right, so Samson Stiffy, I like your name. All right, Alex, Nicholas, sure, mate, we'll do you next. No problems at all. Hey, Alex, to help me out, tell me how many trades you've got left, how many boosts, and how much money you got in the bank, and what your plans are. That kind of lets me know where you're at in the world, and let me give you the best advice and why you're doing that. And Nicholas, you as well. So how many trades you've got, how many boosts you've got, and how much money in the bank you've got, and that helps me out when looking at your team to kind of figure out if my team was your team, your team was my team, or my team was your team, what I would do. Let's have a look. Sinclair, Holmes, Dacos, McGrath looked like he was going to be really good, so unfortunately he just hasn't kind of delivered. Rioli, Nice pick, mate. How's Rioli been doing? That's a nice pick. 17 trades, 1 boost and 66k. Yep, that's actually 17 trades is not bad. 1 boost is good. You didn't throw away your last boost like I did. Daniel Rioli's got a couple of hundreds, then he's probably averaging around 163. You'd like to see a few more of those, wouldn't you? What's that, versus West Coast or something? You sure that wasn't versus West Coast? That was versus Adelaide. Averaging, what is that, around 80? 89? I mean, not bad, considering. Where can you find, it's right up the top. So my team, see this, my team up the top here. I've got 13 trades at the beginning of this and 0 boosts left. Alright, so you're back. Trainer. You probably got to get rid of Trainer, buddy, this week. I assume you're going to do something like Clark to Trainer. Alex, I think that's a pretty straight swap for you. You're making over 100k. Trainer, he's got a different position now. They're playing him they played him up forward in the pocket or some dodgy crap, and they subbed him out. Was it last week or the week before, which is dodgy as well. So Finn O'Sullivan from North, is he coming back? He might come back and play this week, right? Has he been playing the last few weeks? Yeah, he's your number 1 from what we've looked at so far. I mean, all right, Finn O'Sullivan, he'll come back. He might get you a score. He's a tease, this guy. He's like a tease. He's like a hot girl at a nightclub. But he keeps showing like he's going to get a good score, but he just never gets a good score. But at the same time, what's his break even? 40. He's not like he's going to go down any money, so chuck him on. You might even go Clark instead of him on field. Oh, you can have them both on field, Sullivan and Clark. Put Sinclair on the bench. Brayshaw, very nice. Liberatore, I kind of wish I had been gone Liberatore at the beginning of the season. I've had him 2 years past, and he's been really good, except he's got injured quite a lot in the last 2 years. He just, that in and under style he plays, it's just made for Supercoach, and he scores so well, and I don't think he's been injured once, let's touch some wood for you, this entire season. So it's a brave pick considering his injury history, but he's absolutely killing it for you, so well done. Lockie Neal's been copping some tags, but hopefully, he can punch out a 160 any day. Hopefully after everyone saw how good McCluggage played last week, they'll go and tag McCluggage for you. Rao got him as well last week. He was nice and cheap. Doing very well. Oliver had those 2 good weeks, now a down week. You really don't know what you're going to get from him, but, fine. McAuliffe, I definitely thought about doing this myself. I think even at 74, I think that's... I mean, obviously you want him to get one of these 90s, but at a 70, if that's his low, take out the 50. If the 74 is his low, you got to be happy with that for what you paid for him. I think Lindsay and Hewitt, I sold off Hewitt the other day to get Bont in my team. He's re-clicked his cash gen now. What's he down to? 28. So nice. He could get up to about 350. Plus he's got that dual position for you. So a nice hold there. Lindsay was subbed. Hopefully he won't be subbed again. He got 59 anyway, so he's got the potential to get, still break even at 50, so potential to get a 70 or an 80 on a reasonable day for him. Has this guy been playing? Did this guy play? 8, 9, and then they got rid of him. Oh, that's unfortunate for you, buddy. At least he's only 99k, I guess. Gorn and De Koning is back. He's back this week. After his bye, should be playing. Hopefully he recaptures some of that form that he had at the beginning of the season. He was clearly the 3rd best ruck at the beginning of the season. His last few matches have shown that he's not at the moment on current form on the 80, 100, 80. But if he can get back, until round 7, he hadn't scored under 100. So if he can get back in this form, which he's showing that he can, he's got a high ceiling. So I think nice, you just ride the wave with De Koning, unless Pitnet comes back. But, it looks like even when they had the opportunity to bring him back, they didn't. So it looks pretty good. Smith Jackson, this is an awesome pick, mate. I don't know when you got on him, but if we all had known that Darcy was going to be out as much as he has been or not playing, Jackson would have been one of the number one picks in the team. And this, he played as a midfielder. He didn't play as a ruck. He actually played as another midfielder, and still scored a 122. So, I mean, you got to love that, right? You bought him for a ruck, but he's playing as a midfielder and he still scores a 122. Plus, he chops out in the ruck when Darcy's not rucking. That sounds, I mean, he's a great pick. Rankin, 62. He was really down this week, which was, and his role has changed a little bit. A few less CBAs. You got him 2 weeks ago. Nice pick, mate. Humphrey, I thought I was lucky when I went Marich over Humphrey until Marich shat the bed the last couple of weeks, and he's got a position change now, which looks dangerous. Lynch was nice and cheap. It's made you some money. Very nice. Kako, is O'Sullivan still playing? Is he playing? I know he was a pretty good rookie pick. He was a very good rookie pick. He got a 95 last week. What's his break even then? 51. And because he's got that 26, all he has to do is if he gets you at 260, he's going to go up another 20k for you in a couple of weeks. So that's a nice one to have there. A nice one to have. I'll probably hold him until round 14. Alex, what are you? So you're planning to go down. You're at 66k. So if you go trainer down to Clark, how much is Clark? How much money are you going to get? 113. So let's see how Seano's math is. 242. 242. Take 113. That's not correct. 242. Take 113 equals about 129k in the bank. That'll give you. Powell Pepper comes back, break even 97. Might be time to move him on. So you got 129k in the bank. Maybe either move him on or maybe go Peddler and make some more money here if you like Peddler, Alex. Like I was talking to Ollie about, I don't know if I love the Peddler pick, but we don't have many other options. Don't go Keeler until next week. But at a 97 break even, I think that it's probably time for Powell Pepper to go. I had him and I sold him after he had the game where he scored an 8, and he's probably one of my biggest mistakes as he's gone on to make 250k, which I missed out on. So I'm still kicking myself up my backside for doing that. So your team looks pretty good, buddy. If this was my team, I would potentially be, I'd be getting Clark for trainer. With 17 trades, I'd potentially go Peddler for Powell Pepper. And so then that's 200k. So plus 200k, I got my little calculator on the side. I decided not to do it in my head and embarrass myself. So that would give you 329,000 to put on the top of whoever you wanted. So then you could pretty much pick up either a Primo this week or next week. You could potentially upgrade somebody who's going into the buys next week. Who's going to be on the buys? Not this coming week, but the week after. Richmond, Sydney. Is that correct? Yep, Richmond, Sydney, Collingwood, and they've probably got some others as well. So maybe a Dacos somewhere. You could go from McAuliffe's still got money to make. Lindsay can still potentially make money. Hewitt's still going to make money. How much you got? 320. Your round 16 buy looks okay. So if you wanted to get a cheapie, you could probably go somewhere like Huswaite to Jai Cadwell. Maybe get a rookie off the bench and a potential Primo in. Maybe you want to do your back line a little bit. Go up from a Finn O'Sullivan to 320. You could afford a Connor Rosie here instead of Finn O'Sullivan if you wanted to. That would be a reasonable pick. Plus he's going to play through the buys. There's no other defenders that come off the buys. Who else? We've got Carlton players. If you wanted to pick maybe a Shearer or a Patrick Cripps, if you wanted to go somewhere like that, maybe. So you got some good options, mate. That's what I'd be doing if I was your team, Alex. I'd be doing the 2 down, especially with 17 trades, which I think is more than a lot of us have. 2 down and potentially 1 up if you like someone who's already played their buys. Maybe you could wait 1 week and then get a St Kilda or a Freo player. You could get a Jordan Clark in the back line, or a Sinclair might be a bit expensive, but I think Jordan Clark still might be affordable, still won't be under 550. Yeah, so I think you've got a lot of options and your team's looking pretty good, mate. Ranked 20. I'm surprised you're not ranked higher than that. With a team like this, I think you probably deserve to be ranked a bit higher. Maybe McGrath, break even 117. Has he got any of his up scores? I mean, 146, 89, 150. So maybe you just ride that wave and hope that he comes back to that kind of form. You know, that's a pretty good little stretch of scores he's had there, and he's dropped off a little bit. But that's against Brisbane. Would have been a hard matchup. So, you know, I'd say I wouldn't be getting too scared about that 50 score. I mean, obviously he's capable of doing it, but you got him in for a reason. You're picking those. So, yeah, I think your team looks pretty good. And if it was my team, that's what I'd be doing. Also, you could also slap that money on top. Oh, no, Lynch has only got a 30 break even. Another good pick at the, you know, mate. It's going to make you some money. So, yeah, I'd probably be looking to move on. If you could get a non-playing rookie off your bench, like a Huswaite, or, you know, move up someone who is just not doing it for you, like a Finn O'Sullivan. They're the ones I'd probably be trying to move. Or, yeah, I mean, for me, it's always nice to think you're going to chuck the money on Kako, but for me, it's just a nice bench. Especially you got the Hewitt, Kako, DPP going on through the buys. This is super helpful. So I wouldn't be getting rid of either of these guys until either after till their buy, or even, you know, holding them to after, just because of the flexibility you can get, you know, from side. You're moving them around just helps you out so much, especially when you've got players like, you know, the Smiths and, you know, Rankinins in there, which can also move around as well. So, you know, I think that just adds too much flexibility to get rid of those. I'd be looking to chuck that money on potentially. I think Huswaite or Finn O'Sullivan would be the two that. I mean, he's flexible as well, which is nice. So yeah, I think they're the ones I'd probably, if it was my team, be chucking on top of. You're going to actually, if you go down and down, maybe depends. I mean, you don't look too bad for the round 16 bye. 1, 2, 3. Kako doesn't really count. 4, 5. Actually, you're getting up there. So, yeah, I think your team's in a pretty good spot, mate. And 22,000 rank. Oh, sorry, not overall rank 90,000. Oh, that's a bit rough for this team. That's very rough. I thought you'd be much higher. I was thinking that this was your total rank, 22,000. Yeah, I think it looks like you've been a bit unlucky, mate. And I wouldn't be surprised to see you start to move up those ranks as well. Get a few more primos on the field. Use some of those trades. You know, maybe the week after you look at that Keeler fella for somebody else. You know, go Lynch if he makes you some money. Keeler up to, and, you know, try and get somebody else up. I hope that helped out a little bit, Alex. Let me know. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Now we'll have a look for you too, Nicholas. SMI. How often do I go live? I usually once or twice a week, and either a Wednesday or a Thursday, or sometimes both Wednesdays and Thursdays. And it can be, depending on my work, it can be a little bit, sometimes it can be first thing in the morning. Like if you're here, I'm in Perth, would it be 9 o'clock, so it'll be like 11 o'clock for you guys, so around lunchtime. or if I'm on my week off like I am now, it can be later, can be in the evening, can be around now. So I'm not very consistent, which I know is not very helpful for you guys. But if you hit that notification bell, it'll let you know when I am on. And I'm always happy to have a look at your teams, anyone who's here, and yeah, just have a bit of a chat about your team, see if I can help, let you know what I would do, and then you could probably do what I do or do the exact opposite of what I tell you to do. Might be a good strategy to do the exact opposite what I do. But all right, let's have a look. So we've got Nicholas now. You've got 14 trades, 0 boost, 281k. That's very nice. Overall rank 37,000. It's okay. It's not terrible. You know, it could be worse. Don't forget, these people get upset about their ranks. There are 180,000 players playing Supercoach. We can't all be ranked, you know, whatever, in the top 100. Some of us, and I think a lot of us don't. You got to remember too, there is a lot of luck in Supercoach. Yes, there are certain strategies and skill to being, you know, up towards the top end of that 180,000, but a lot of luck happens as well. Last year I had a disaster of year last year, and I finished in, you know, around this overall rank was right around there, I think, at the end of the year. Maybe a little bit higher, but not too much. Just so many injuries I had, and you know, you just can't predict. You get in a good play, you make a good move, and get injured straight away. And this year has been especially challenging, with the rookies and the lack of cash generation and the coaches screwing us over by destroying their cash gen by subbing them or dropping them all the time. Anyway, Nick, let's have a look at your team. Martin, really good pick. He's been killing it. So well done there, buddy. Bailey Dale, got him as well. Nice. Connor Rosie, good. Holmes. Sheasel, your back line looks awesome, mate. Your back line is obviously done. This week you just chuck Carol on, and she'll be sweet. And I assume, Nick, are you jumping on the Clark chain like everybody else? Probably, if just looking straight at your team now, I would probably sell Huswaite or Hall, whichever one of these you think is less likely to play. I mean, Hall has been destroying it in the waffle and not getting a game, so Huswaite has to break into a tougher team. Soon as you trade him, he'll come in, but I'd probably, if I was you, I'd be dropping one of these two boys, moving Sard to the midfield, and picking up Clark to make yourself another 60-70k. Yeah, I would say, Nicholas, I'm with you. Hall, I mean, he should play. As we discussed before, I'm an Eagles supporter, and Minnie McWalter is just pissing me off this season. With the way he's treating the rookies and whatever, so who knows if he does play. He should play, the same as Tom Gross should have played in the midfield, but played in a forward pocket instead. So who knows, he comes on and they might play him in the forward pocket as well. They might do a Grossi to him and just destroy his potential to score any points. But I think that way you make yourself an extra, what do we say? So 187, 10, 187, 187, 100. Take Clark, it's 113, 500, 11. Whoop, 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 whoop. Take 113, 500 equals plus, and you said you had 281 in the bank. 281. That doesn't right. That's not right. I think after all that math, I think that didn't work at all. That did not work at all. So let's try this one more time. Calculator, you stupid calculator, do what you're supposed to do. 269, 000, 169. Take 113, 500 equals, that's 55k on top of your plus 281. 000 equals 336,500 dollary dues. We like to talk in dollary dues on this channel, to spend. So that's pretty nice. Your back your backline sorted. Brayshaw, Dawson, Dacos, Miller, Oliver, McAuliffe. Again, I like the McAuliffe pick, but I didn't get on it. I wouldn't be worried about this 74 too much. This looks like around his floor, which for what you paid for him is exactly why you got him, right? You got him to get a rookie off the field and someone's going to give you a minimum of a 74, which is nice. Travalia not going to play this week. Boxall not going to play this week. Both major sub issues for those two boys. So once this week's over, you're bringing Sarah back, and then you're still going to need a rookie on the field. So maybe that you need to put that 360 into one of these guys. Maybe. How's their break evens? Break even of 8, so you probably don't want to put it on him. And Boxall break even at 25 if they can only get a full game, right? Especially Boxall. If he played a full game, it looks like he'd be an absolute gun. It looked like he'd be an absolute gun if he got a full game. Marshall and Nank. Nank came back with a good back score for you this week, buddy. So that is good. Hopefully he continues that up. Marshall, I've also got Marshall. Hopefully he can get up there as well. Obviously, the big glaring issue with your team is you don't have either of the big rucks, which I know they're stupidly expensive now, and I'm not saying you should go out and pay the money for them. It makes it a bit tricky with your captain. You probably had a bit of trouble with picking your captains this year. If I was predict why you're ranked 37 and not like 10,000 or something, it's probably because you've had a bit of issue with your captains, and just trying to pick each week out of these players which one's going to be your captain is a little bit tricky. Whereas at least if you've got one of those big dudes, it's usually, it's hard to have a complete disaster if you've got a Gawn or a Sherry. A disaster with a Gawn or Sherry is 100, whereas a disaster if you go a Brayshaw or a Dawson can be an 80 or a 70. Smith, Petrarca, Rackety, Bolton, Horn Francis come back and Caleb Daniels. So and Gross on the bench, who's not playing. That's a bit rough. So your forward line's done. Your back line's done. You really just want to get a bit of midfield action going on. And yeah, you got 336, Nick. Been rough with captains, yeah. It's just I could easily be at the exact same score as you are, Nicholas. The only reason I did so well is because I've had Gawn since the beginning, and I've pretty much been slapping the captain on him pretty much every week, and he's delivered most weeks. I don't think I've had a failure with him as my captain where I haven't been able to jump. I think he had the one where he got the 80 and 90, and I think I was managed to get out of it, maybe. But and that's the difference between me being in 6,000 and you being in 30,000. It's just that, an extra 50 to 100 points a week from your captain makes a massive difference. And it's amazing how a couple of 100 points can jump you up thousands in the overall ranking. So did you have any ideas of what you were going to do, mate, with this 30k you've got? I mean, that's with doing one downgrade, one upgrade. Did you say how many trades? You got 14 trades, so you're kind of in the similar spot with me. You probably want to... Who are you going to be putting in your flex position when this... You're going to have one of these guys in your flex position when it comes back. You need one more decent player. You kind of need 3, right? You've got these two and this spot, which are your worries. Not this week, because, this week, so be it. There's not many out. Double down, so you're thinking of Pedler too. Who are you going to do as your other down? Because you don't look like you've got a player with much money on his head. If you're getting Pedler, who's 150, I mean, if you're going to go... I mean, Gross is offering you a bit of... with Kako, a bit. I know he's not playing, but he's offering you a bit of swing action. So you already said you were thinking about getting rid of Huswaite. Who was the one you were going to get rid of for? I can't really see another player that I'd like to get rid of from Pedler. You don't want to get rid of Gray. don't go McCarthy, Nicholas. As an Eagles supporter, please don't go McCarthy. Even if he's named, I know he's 99k. Have you not seen what Minnie McDonald's been doing? He's almost guaranteed to be the sub. And if he's not the sub starting the game, he'll probably get subbed out of the game. And if he's not getting subbed out of the game, he might get dropped the next week. Please don't go McCarthy. Just wait. If he plays this week, see if he plays the week after, and see if he gets dropped. McWalter has been absolutely brutal when it comes to the rookies this year. I don't know if he's given any of them more than 2 weeks in a row. He usually gives them 2 weeks, has a look at them, changed his mind like he changed his underpants, and then drops them. And then I would definitely not be going there. I have no idea, and I'll have to apologise. Even though they're my team, I was sure his name was Marich, but no, it's Marek. I saw an interview with him, and he declared that no, his name, he grew up, it's definitely Marek. So it's definitely Marek, and we're going to call him. You think I should know, being that the fact it's my team and he's been there for a year and a half. But anyway, so the only reason I could think of Nicholas is because he kicked 8 clangers the week before. I certainly think he looks better than Delaware back there. Tyrell, I think he looks better than the Tyrell Corporation back there. And of course, we all want him to play back there. I think he's a major issue. I'm getting rid of him this week because that wing role, he's just not suited to that. I mean, he might play right in that wing role, but he's not one of these wings roles that goes forward and kicks a few goals type of role, like the Sam Davison and stuff we had at the beginning of the year. I don't think he's going to be pushing forward and kicking goals. He's going to be more of like a defensive wing guy who just doesn't get the ball very often. So unless his role changes back, and it was quite surprising because I think Tyrell is a better forward. I thought Tyrell looked quite dangerous forward early on in the season, and McWalter says one thing. He says he wants lots of small forwards running around kicking goals, and then he puts the small forward back in the back line, and then who knows, they might even give the new guy McCarthy a go at kicking out and being in that back role. They might drop Marek altogether, and he might just get dropped. He was sub last week, so he might even get dropped, and they put Tyrell forward and put the new guy in the back line and give him a go. Who knows? I'm pretty sure he's throwing darts at dartboards to make decisions on who plays or not. Yep, Jack, chuck your team name in chat and your amount of boosts, your amount of trades, and how much money you got in the bank, and we'll go through you next, buddy. So I like your team, Nicholas. You need to get one more player, pretty much. So you've got 3 rookies to go. These 2 boys should play, but are massive issues. Gross, who knows if he's going to play again. I got a feeling he might not play again for a while after he got screwed by McWalter last week. So maybe chucking that 330 on top of a Gross, or I don't like putting it on Travalia or these guys because they both got such low break evens. Gross has got a 50. I know he's only worth 167. So if you chucked 167 on top, you'd have 500,000. So you would have 500,000 to get, whoever you wanted, who you could afford. I mean, it doesn't look like, do you have too many people out of the round 16 bye? 1, 2, 3. Don't really count Kako. Doesn't look like you got too many from the round 16 bye. You don't have a lot, so maybe you could go like a Jai Caldwell if you're looking for a cheapie at 440, and then at least you've got someone who can pump out a premium score. And instead of Gross, I do like the fact that Gross has the action, the swing action. You don't want to be getting rid of Gray. I mean, you could get rid of Kako, honestly, but he's a playing body on the field that's getting some points. So That's why I'd be, tempted not to get him. Hey, Paris, how you going, buddy? Had a similar stinker this week. We're not going to talk about Toby Green, right? We're not talking about Toby Green, is that correct, Paris? Hey, buddy, how are you, mate? Welcome. Rough week for quite a few of us, mate. So, we'll get to you. We'll get to you in just a moment. So, Nicholas, sorry, I hope that helps you out, Nicholas. Like, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be going down Clark, and I'd pretty much think I'd be going one down, one up, because I can't see who else you want to go down with, unless you go down from, if you went down with Grosh, you're not making much money. Swing to the Bont, you could chuck, the problem with you swinging to the Bont, mate, is you've got to have a bit of a look at, when you come out of the buys, have you got at least 22 players that aren't rookies that are going to be playing on the field? And I'm looking at your team and I'm seeing you got 3 here, even with so Sarah's going to be on the field, those 2 are going to be on the field. So you're going to be okay, actually. So these 2, you're going to have 1 rookie on the field. You're going to have these 2. So you'd really, ideally, I think you'd want to have 1 more good player, at least 1 more good player. And then even if the flex, shits the bed, you've still got a potential to have 22 good players. If you get Bont, it means you've got 2 rookies that you're going to be fielding, 2 chances to shit the bed. Where, not that your primos haven't been, not that our primos, not yours, but our primos in general for everyone have been shitting the bed this year. But if I was you, I'd be looking to get 1 more semi-primo, the 500k type player, if a little bit more if you could afford him, but if you're doing the double downgrade by getting someone else down, if you really desperately want to get rid of Kako. But most of your rookies who are playing look like they have low break evens, so I'd be just holding on to them and getting the money this week. Maybe even you don't need to go the upgrade this week, you can do a downgrade this week, and then potentially let some of these rookies get some more money. And hope maybe a Kako gets you some more money, or a Carroll gets you some more money, and you can downgrade and upgrade next week. This week, with not too many primos out, I think you can afford to just wait. You've got quite a few out though this week. 1, 2. I wouldn't count these 2, but you got 3. Not really. You got 3. 1, 2, you only really got 3 primos out. It's just you got 2 St Kilda rookies, which are hurting a little bit. But obviously Sarah's going to be on here, and let's pray. I'll pray to the Supercoach gods for you that Clay Hall comes back in for you. Yeah, Pedler. I'm not only is his job security a little bit of a worry, Nicholas. I think he's the type where, if he doesn't kick goals, it could be a very low score. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of our rookies be getting us low scores, whether they kick goals or not, but he gives that forward type role, so he's done okay though, so I can understand why people are going there. But job security, and if he came out and said he's got really good job security, he's going to play for the next 4 or 5 weeks, I'd probably lock him in just because we don't have much else out there. But I'd hate to get another rookie at 150k at that elevated price, and then for him to play 1 more week, get a 40, and then not play anymore. So I've got Sims in my team. I think he's okay. He's gone up a little bit, so he's 177 now at a break-even -7. So he's still going to make some money. He is chopping out in the ruck, so he can pick up a few extra points here and there. He's only got, don't expect big scores out of him though. 45, 48, 44, 69 this week, and that's a nice sound of score. Is his highest score, so I wouldn't exactly say he's setting the world on fire. You're probably thinking that a round of 50 is probably pretty normal for him. At 177, I think he's maybe a little bit expensive to go now. If you got him at the bottom bargain basement price, fine. His job security looks okay though, so maybe if you're prepared to pay an extra 27k for the job security over Pedler, maybe that's the way to go. But he seems, for how desperate we are for rookies at the moment, and also how desperate we are for cash at the moment, I think I'll be trying to get a cheaper rookie. Be safer to go Pedler. I don't know if safer is the way to say, but Pedler, as long as Pedler plays you 2 more weeks, he might make you more money. His scoring's been better. Pedler's got like a 75 and a 67 or something. So he scored against the Eagles. He scored 2 goals, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to do that every week for a 79, which is nice. Then he scored 1 goal, I believe, last week for a 67. So if he plays, a couple of weeks and he shits the bed and only gets 40s, he's at least going to go up 60k. And if he does manage to get another 60, 70, he might go up about 80k. It's just about, I have to admit, I'm not very familiar with the Adelaide team, and some people are saying this job security is not great. So definitely one to look at the time, the team sheets, and I think we're a bit stuck this year though, so I totally understand if you go there though. I think if you wanted someone a little bit more reliable, go Sims, but I think Sims' money might be, he's at -7 now, but at 48, so potentially you're only going to make another 45k if you got Sims over the next couple of weeks, and he averages right around 48, which looks like he's going to average, at best he's going to go up to 220. I think Pedler, potentially you could make a 20, 30 more k if he plays for the next few weeks. That's a big if he plays. So I really hope that helped you out, Nicholas. I hope, I mean, I can't tell you not to do the bond because I did it, but I would advise, my heart says yes, you want the bond, and I just went and did it 2 weeks ago when I shouldn't have, but my brain says probably better to try and get just get one of these players, rookies off the field for more of a value type option. Yeah, no problem, Dickus. Anytime, buddy. I've add you as a rival, so if you see me on, jump on. Now, who was next? Jack, Nashville, Tennessee. You like your country music, do you, buddy? Nashville, Tennessee. All right, so, and you said you've got 15 trades, 1 boost, and 70k. Let's put the 70k in the calculator so it's already there. Memory save. Overall rank 100,000, so a little bit of a rough season. You've got Sherry, so not too bad. Let's have a quick look, buddy. So you didn't get Toby. You talked me into Toby and you didn't get him yourself, Paris. Well, you got to send me like a check if you kick less than 3 goals. It must be in the mail. Only joking, buddy. I always appreciate you here, Paris. For those of you who don't know, Paris, are you still in the top 50 now, mate? After this week, after your bad round, where are you placed now? So this is a gentleman that can offer some really good advice. He did give me the advice, get Toby Green. But at Paris, I have to admit though, I joke and I point fun, but if you remember, I traded in Paris I traded in Paris for Caden Cleary. And we know Caden Cleary was a sub and he got 8, and I wouldn't have been able to get him off, or he got like under 10. So I still got a 57, so it kind of worked out for me. And it is the potential for him to get 120. So even though it kind of affects what I want to do this week, because he's around 16 bye, but I'll show you guys what I want to do after we've gone through Jack's team. Yeah, I hope you didn't drop too many places this week, Parrish. You're having such a good season. So Whitfield, Zorko, Sheasel, we're all a bit worried about Sheasel. I mean, can you do Trainer to Clark, Levi Ashcroft to Bont and Cleary to Pedler. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I mean, we all want the Bont. He is expensive. I mean, in theory, again, Supercoach-wise, your team is one team where I would think you probably can go the Bont because you're pushing for, you know, the top price. The rest of us probably shouldn't be going Bont. We should be trying to get, you know, save that 100k and get 2 players, you know, but Bont's the Bont. Sometimes you just want the Bont. And he's a guaranteed captain option every week, especially like in a team like this for Jack the lad. If you've got Bont and Sherry, that would be your vice captain this week, I assume, mate. Bont into Sherry. But a lot of scores that beat your score had more primos than you last week. I was very disappointed that, sorry, I get itchy nose. I had a lot of players on the field last week and not many of the outs. Like I didn't have McRae on the bench, I didn't have Jason Francis, I didn't have Rosie, and I still scored a crap score, which really annoyed me. So my hard weeks are coming up. A lot of people had their hard week this last week and now they're going to be good. I had an easy week last week and now hard weeks are coming and I got a bad score. So all my super premiums just shit the bed last week. Whitfield, Zorko, Sheasel, Pryor. What's he? 63. Might be time for him to go. Actually, Trainer, mate. If I'm you, Jack, Trainer has to go this week. A pretty easy trade for you. Straight Trainer to Clark. Trainer to Clark. Bank yourself. What's the 242, 800. Take one. I think we said he's 13,500. Plus your memory recall equals 180. That gives you 182k in the bank. So you got Bont, Dawson, Sarong, Dacos, Sherrod, Ned Long, Lindsay, and whoever's playing out of these guys. Mitchell played. You've got your 49. Nice. So 2 rookies here. Sherry, Cameron. Nice. Smith, Warner, Rankine, Ashcroft, Philippou. This sucks. This is really unfortunate, mate. And Day Wicks. Oh, you do have Gawn. You've got Gawn down here. Nice. So you've got 2 choices like me, mate. Just to jump away from trade second. For your captain and vice captains, I'm considering Bont into Sherry, but I think I'm actually going to go Sherry into Gawn. Because if Bont comes out and scores a 130... I'm not going to know what to do. 130 or 140, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know whether to take it or whatever. Whereas Sherry is playing the Eagles and could literally score 1,000,000 points. So if Bont got a 130 and I was like, oh, okay, I'll take it, and then Sherry gets a 180, I'd be a bit disappointed. So I'm going to have a look at Sherry first and then have a look at Gawn afterwards. And because we're in the buys, there's plenty of opportunities for you to slap the captain on one of these non-playing Freo or St Kilda players. One of the good thing about the buys is you've got right to the end of the round to put any of these guys on the field, so you should be able to work out a pretty easy way to get that score if you do it like me. So I like your team, buddy. It's but you do need to, you know, probably try and think about getting some of, like we say, I would go Trainer down. How many trades did you say you had? You think you said you had 14, right? 15 trades, 1 boost, 70k. So even if you wanted to get Pedler, you don't really have, unless you went like Philippou out for Pedler, make some money, get a player out that's not going to play, you make yourself some more money and then dump that on the top of like a Huswaite or something, or a Lindsay, and try and get yourself, you know, 182 on top of Lindsay gets you a Jai Cadwell, gets you a 500k player. I don't think there's many players at 500 that we want. They're all just over, the best players that we want are just over 500k. But if you went Pedler as well for someone, if you went Pedler down, then that's another 110, 120k. Then you've got, 300k that you can put on someone's head. Don't think Marshall is a keeper. I don't think I'm in a luxury to trade Marshall myself. Paris, I think I'm just going to have to ride it with trades. But in your position, I totally understand if you were doing a sneaky Bont to Marshall to Bont or something like that or whatever. I mean, maybe keeping Lashcroft and getting rid of Marshall this week if he's got 183 break even before he drops any more money for you. So I think that would be, if I was you, Jack, that's what I'd be thinking. Going, trainer down. When these guys come back, you're still short here as well. Then going up a rookie, I think, is fine. I definitely wouldn't, depending on how long Philippu's out for, I'd pretty much just take that money and try and upgrade one of your rookies if you could. That's what I'd be doing if I had your team, buddy. Berry's probably going to play this week, you would think. And you've got Ashcroft there as well. Yeah. Just trying to keep going down and trying to get the rookies off the field. Don't be sideways trading with only 14 trades to go, mate. You've unfortunately got a few too many rookies on the field, and you know how dodgy the rookies have been this year, so anything can happen. So try and get the ones that are about to go down money or have high break evens. Like obviously you're not doing Gray, you're not going to do Travalia. Oh yeah, shut the bed. There we go. So yeah, Pryor would be the only one I'd be upgrading in your back line. You could get whoever you want if you chucked, the 180k on top of him or the 300k on top of him. Here in your midfield, I'd probably, Lindsay's playing, so I don't know if I'd be upgrading him. Maybe 300k on top of a Nevitt or a Huswaite gets you a Jai Clark. It doesn't look like you've got too many guys out of that round 8. That last buy round. You got a few though. So maybe Jai Caldwell's not the best for you. I don't know if you can get up to a Rosie or even just hold one more week and then potentially get on a. You got Sarong. Brayshaw's probably a bit expensive. Maybe a sneaky Shield. Is that what I'm thinking of? St Kilda, plays for St Kilda. It's good. He's a good midfielder, but hasn't had the best season this season. God, I'm going to have a brain fade. Not Dylan Shield. You guys know who I mean. St Kilda. This for next week, not for this week. Jack Steele, yeah, Jack Smith. Yeah, he's at 530. Actually, he's more than what I thought he would be. I actually didn't think he was that much, so maybe not. I don't know if I'd be paying 530 for him. I thought he was more like about 500, so I don't know if I'd be paying 530 for him. But he was coming up. If you're paying 530 for him, you might as well get a Rosie, I would think. And then even Rosie hasn't been that great lately, so. Jason Horne-Francis might come back, maybe he's an option, but yeah, that's what I would be doing for you, mate. Definitely get Clark. I can't see who you and I'd be tempted to drop Philippou for Pedler if he's going to be out for more than about 3 or 4 weeks. I'd be tempted to either drop him for Pedler or put that extra money on top of him Now, I'm going to give you guys a sneaky midfield option who's very cheap that might be okay, or he might absolutely kill your team. But if you're desperate for cash, I'm going to show you who. I don't think there's no one else here. There's no more people that say they want me to look at their team yet. Is there? Jack, I hope that helped out a little bit for you. I hope I was some help. Yeah, any Primo that hasn't had their bye, and this is Paris is as a top 50 or top 100 scorer, so he's a man that should be listened to. Any Primo that hasn't had their bye isn't viable in your opinion. Cadwell, Whitfield are all cheap, but one less game from here on in. Yep, so I really like the look at Cadwell because he's cheap, but that round 16 buyer is a bit of trouble. So there's someone I haven't mentioned, crew, who's really cheap that could be really good, or it could be an utter disaster. So this is my team, and I'll show you what I'm thinking while we got you here. So I'm going a straight. Have we already done it? So Huswaite to Clark. That one's locked in. That one's just locked in for me. So that's fine. So I get a non-playing, unless Huswaite's named this week. I get someone who's not playing, I get him off, I get someone who is playing, and I get 66k in the bank. So then, I don't want to go Pedlar. I'm not going there. I don't need a forward. I wouldn't get him instead of Simpson, because I'll actually have to pay more for Pedlar than I've got Simpson. So if I'm only getting rid of Simpson, if I can get rid of him for a 99k or a 113k player, it's going to play and make me a little bit of cash. So at the moment, he's just going to be stinking up a spot on my forward line there. So what I am thinking, what Seano is, this is absolutely crazy, by the way. So Marek has to go. Marek's changed his role. You can't keep him at 60. He's going to drop 45k. If he gets another 60, he's going to drop 45k this week. He got to 500, and then for him to go down to be less than 400 would be a disaster. So thank you for your service, Marek. Screw you, like Walter, and you've stuffed me again. You stuffed me with Gross, and you fucked me with Marek. So we're going to trade him out, and then if we go the obvious one, Jai, which does make it's a straight swap, and he costs. I actually make money. I make $900 by doing this. And Jai Cadwell, we know he's an inside midfielder. He had a pretty good season last year. So I think he's going to be a top 8 midfielder? No. Do I think he can score 123 every week? No. But do I think he can get me around 100 every week? And for that price, I'm like, well, I'll take 100 every week. Now, here's where the dodginess begins. Dodgy Seano. You can just call me Dodgy Seano from now on. Can't afford Libba. Can't afford him. So for 60k, all I could do with that 67k is get a 507k player. So there's nobody at that price. He is the best value and the best player at that price. If we had a look at the price, there's no fallen primos, there's no Rouse anymore, Holmes is more than that. There's just nobody. So Tom Green's excellent. I think he's very good, Jack. I think I would love to have Tom Green in my team. Obviously not really viable with around 16 buy for me, but I would love to have Tom Green in my team. He's too expensive for me. I can't afford him at the moment. So I'm really concentrating on two things. One is cheapo. Seano is shopping at Good Sammy's this week, and we're going to try and get the stuff that other people threw away. So there's one sneaky pick, and I think I'm going to go there. And you guys are going to think I'm absolutely insane for doing this. But so Ashcroft was subbed out, and he's got the last buy. and he's got a break even of 77. So he could easily get that 77. I have to get rid of him because he's got the last buy. With Cadwell in the team, now makes a bit of a worry for this last buy. So 1, 2, only 3 premiums with 2 rookies. Who's to say these 2 rookies are going to be playing when it comes to round 16? I hope they are, but if they're not, that could be a problem. Here we've got Cadwell in the team, so that's another primo out. And then we've got Smith and we've got Green in last week as well. And so there's going to be a lot of rookie action in my team in that round 16. And if those rookies are dropped or injured or don't play for that round 16, it's going to make a little bit of an issue for my team. But this is what craziness I'm thinking. Ashcroft out. Now this is highly not advisable, but I'm going to explain my thoughts. The old dog, Sam Doherty. Now, before you start saying you're a crazy madman, Seano, I'll explain to you my decisions. All right, so Doherty is super cheap. Now, in past years, not so much last year, but the year before and before that, he was one of your number 1 picked in defence. He was the Zorkos and the Whitfields when he was a young man. He's an older man now. He's 31 or something this year, and he is thinking about retirement. But last week, he came out, and instead of playing midfield, he played the half-back role. Not a kick-in back role, but a half-back role, and got 118. And if you have a bit of a look, Carlton came out and said, there's this tweet here from Carlton, right? Carlton veteran Sam Doherty is keen to play on next season if the club wants him. Fresh from his best AFL game this season, following a rare stint in the VFL, Doherty revealed it had been a mutual decision with coach Michael Voss after the round 8 loss to Adelaide for him to return to the second tier to regain confidence. He says, I still love playing the game and I really love the game. The 31-year-old defender told his masthead after notching his first 30-plus AFL disposal game since 2023. The pre-seasons are getting a bit long, yeah. So we'll get down to where it's... During the time, he had an honest conversation with Voss, with both believing he could benefit from the confidence while from locking down one spot at the half-back role. So he wants to lock down the one spot in the half-back role. He felt like he's going from position to position, he says, and he was finding it hard to get form. Going back to the VFL, he gets a bit of confidence. Doherty averaged 35 disposals and 150 ranking points in 3 VFL matches, playing in that half-back role. He gets some freedom. I hadn't played too much in VFL across his career yet. His form warranted an AFL return last week, and he was one of the best players on the ground in their loss. So they brought him back in after seeing him in the VFL destroy it in the half-back role that we know he can score big in. They brought him back in. They're giving him game. He's been one of the best on the field, and he's got a big score. Now, if we go and look at his stats, I've got him set up here. If we have a look, so he got 118 last week and played a kind of running off halfback and down the wing type of role in the VFL. This is not Supercoach, this is fantasy points, but you can tell, you get a good idea how he did. 133 fantasy points, 28 kicks, 11 handballs, 161 fantasy points, 26 kicks with 12 handballs. So that's in the VFL. They're huge scores. We do know why he's in and out of the team. Yeah, he's old and, he can get injured, but he's super cheap. And just like the Toby Green pick last week, Paris, I think this is one that I think I'm going to jump on it and jump off it if it fails. So he's got a break even of 73. It's not exactly low. But if he was to come out and smash a couple of hundreds 2 weeks in a row, even if he got a 76 and an 80, he'd go up to 18k. as we've seen, Ashcroft can get low scores. He can get high scores. He was the sub this week. Don't think he's going to be the sub this coming week, though. The Brisbane fans are telling us that it's because of the short turnaround. They think he might have been the sub. If he's dropped, it's a 100% pick, but I can't see him there dropping him. He's just been too good this season. I'm picking, if he goes up, these are both 100, he might go up to about 430, 440, 450. He could be a stepping stone for me to chuck 100k and jump onto a full primo, or he could just play that halfback role and destroy it. There's always the option that he just goes and destroys it. Now, you don't have to do what I do. You could wait a week. Even if he got 100, he's only going to go up 15k. He'd still be 400k. If he came out, smashed 100 again this week and they played him in the same position, he would. So I'm thinking both ways, but if he comes out and gets 130, that means he'd be 415k. And I don't know if I want to pay 415k for him. The fact I'm buying him because he's super cheap with a high potential, but a massive risk. So I'm hoping, Paris, that if he's destroyed it in the VFL in this halfback role, and he said he's talked to the coach and he wants to lock down one position, you're either going to play him in that position or you're not going to play him at all, right? Why wouldn't you just leave him in the VFL if you're not going to play him in that position? And you're certainly going to play him this week because, he was one of your best players last week. So I'm hoping that Carlton are going to take a look at this and say, well, this is definitely his best position. We're just going to let him play back there and all be good. Now, with their injuries coming back, I know they've got some people coming back. Teams haven't been released yet, have they, crew? Nope. With the injuries, I don't know if he gets dropped for somebody else. They do have some people coming back. Lockie Cowan, hamstring's only 1 week away. Jack Silvani is a test. Zach Williams is a test. So there is massive risk to this pick. And I might hold off on a week and just let Levi play this week and see what happens. Yeah, it's kind of the same as the Toby Green pick that I did last week, Paris. Plus, it gets a rookie off the field, even though the rookie has probably been just as consistent as he has. But I don't think Levi Ashcroft has the same upside. I think at a really excellent game, I think Levi Ashcroft, his best score was 99 or 100 this year. Maybe he could go a little better than that. I can see a Doherty punching out a 130. If he has everything, if all the stars align and Seano has kissed on the you-know-what, I can see him smashing out a 130. I can also see him delivering me a 60 or a 70 in the team. But he has played his bye. He'll play all the way through the byes. He's getting me 1 off the field for that round 16 bye, which I'm already a little bit worried about. And he has a massive upside. He's got a massive upside at a massive risk. Now, my team, since I'm pushing for league more than overall score at the moment, I think it's a nice safe pick that can hold me over. If he plays, it's a great punt. I think so too. You're an Essendon boy, are you not, Paris? Or you said you're a Carlton boy? I thought you said you're an Essendon boy. Just that those people coming back worry me a bit because they're all backmen, right? Silvani is backman. Zach Williams has been playing as a small forward sometimes. Lockie Cowan is definitely a backman. You're an Essendon boy, yeah. Do you reckon any 99k rookie guys are going to play? Parrish, you got 4 of them. Did we have a look? You got 4 99k rookie dudes in your team. And once again, please nobody get in any of these 99k rookie dudes at please nobody get in any of these guys. Oscar Smart, Liam McMahon, Archer May, Lachlan Blackiston, 99k, and Jade, this guy's injured, so he's not going to play. Any chance this ruck dude plays, Paris? You reckon? Yes, they'll play. well, good. Don't get him this week, though. Same as don't get on Tom McCarthy this week from the Eagles. Just wait. Just have a little... Wait there 2 weeks. I mean, I don't really want any more Essendon players in my team, but if there's a 99k rookie, I mean, round 16 players in, not Essendon players, but round 16 players in my team. But if someone's 99k and they play 2 rounds, I'm definitely going to get them. What are we at now? This is round 13. So if they play round 13, they play round 14, that's going to be unfortunate because you're going to want to get him in for round 15, and then they're going to have a bye in round 16. Maybe, hopefully they don't get played. Goldstein will need a rest. Give that other... I mean, I'm kind of hoping the ruck is not the one that plays. Because if the ruck one plays, it's not going to make me any money. Because the only thing I could potentially do is put him instead of Boyd. So I make 0 money. I just get a playing player on the field. So we would still have to do that. We would have to burn a trade to do that. And as you can see, we don't... If we do these 3 trades, it leaves us 10 trades. And so then my plan would be... So if we don't go Doherty this week... The plan would be to go down again next week, hopefully with some other magical rookie that we don't know about. And then potentially we could go up to Butters, or in a dreamland, Butters gets the Bedford tag this week and drops another 100. And then we wait another week on him and he gets to like 520, 530. What do I think on OG? What do you think, OG? OG? I'm an OG. So I'll show you a quick look at what my team looks like coming out of the buys. So Sinclair, here is Brayshaw. Oh, what do I think about him? You know what? He looks okay. I don't really know, to be honest. I had a look at his highlights and stuff. He looks okay. His Supercoach scores don't seem to be lighting the world on fire, but at $99, at 99k, that's still a bargain, and I'll take whatever I get. And if he plays a back roll, you know, I think if he plays 2 weeks, I'll snap him up and I'll ride the McWalter roller coaster and see him get dropped the week after. But the fact that he is a defensive midfielder swappy guy, the same as Assad, and the fact that he's 99k, I'll snap him up, but after 2 weeks. There's no way I'm getting him this week, and there's no way I'm buying any of those 99ks this week. I'm just waiting, and I'll get them. We don't have enough rookies playing at the moment. Now, with last couple of weeks, I've done pretty good at getting some actually rookies making me some money on the field. So Carroll can still make money. Hopefully he still plays. Gray's making money. Clark will make money. Kako probably won't make money, but could. He's got a break even of 32. He could score 32. I'm still waiting for his 1 peak game. Someone just kick it to Kako. Paris, would you have a chat to your Essendon boys and tell them to kick it to Kako and let him kick some goals? Just let him kick 2 or 3 goals in a match and get an 80, please. Please, God. Let him kick 2 or 3 goals in a match and get an 80, just like he did in that preseason match. Making dead rookie, probably drop this week. If not, he's going to be the sub. Dead rookie, making some money, and dead rookie. So I do have a few, especially in the back line, making a little bit of money. Not much. Mostly it's up to these 2 Richmond boys to make the money. And Clark, hopefully, if he can stay in a few more weeks and make the money. So that's what. So in the back line, that's what it would look like. And I plan to get a Mills. So whether I've still got 68k in the bank, if I worked it somehow where I could get 68k on top of Lindsay after Mills has played his bye, I could go straight from Lindsay to Mills. Get one of these rookies in here or somehow, maybe get that by that time maybe the West Coast Eagle guy is ready and I can, you know, sub one of these guys out. But if I can do that, somehow go one up from Lindsay. Carlton and Dogs has such good fixtures, they certainly do. That's why I'm thinking Dale is still nice. I don't know, a lot of people are saying Dale is almost a must-have and you should buy him in. That's probably people that haven't had Dale. His picture looks great, but he scares the crap out of me every week, Dale. I don't know if it's worth the heart attack for having him. So hopefully Mills will be here. Then we'll have whatever. There'll either be a rookie here or here. One of these spots will be a rookie. That'll be my last rookie to upgrade. And keeping Marshall. I know you said you want to get rid of Marshall because he's got 183 break even. I'm just going to ride the Marshall train until, I mean, yes, he's going to go down 40k, probably more. If he gets 100, yeah, if he gets 100, he's going to go down 40k. But we did get him at 470 or something, so we know he's up and down. You know, we could potentially do, maybe here's our avenue to Butters in a few weeks. That's the other thing, right? So if I want Butters, this is doing Doherty this week means if I want Butters, I have to pray that Bedford tags Butters this week, and then he has, so won't get him next week, won't get him the week after. I can get some of these 99k rookies, and then maybe I can go Lindsay up to Butter, or sorry, another rookie, whichever highest rookie I have. You know, hopefully one of these other rookies has made enough money, or potentially I could even go Toby Green up to Butters. It does leave me one rookie on the field that way, but you know, beggars can't be choosers this season. So that's kind of my plan. I'll have, if I do the one trade to get Mills, means I'll have 9. If I had to do then 2, I probably have to do 3 trades to get Butters, 2 down and 1 up if I want Butters. The only thing, I had a look at Butters. We all want Butters. We all like to be buttered up. But in the Supercoach finals, he does, the first 2 weeks of Supercoach finals, he plays 2 teams that tag. And because the leagues mean a lot to me, that could be the difference between me winning and losing the match. So I might anti-pod Butters. That could be crazy, and it could cost me dearly, but I might anti-pod Butters. If he gets down to 510, 520, I don't think I can. But see these weeks, Geelong and Fremantle. So Geelong's got the Mullen dude, the Mullen, and Freo's got Wagner, who could both tag him, and that could destroy the first 2 weeks of my Supercoach finals. So maybe I can pod Butters in an attempt to win those first 2 weeks of the finals. And then though, do I win those first 2 weeks and then just lose the grand final because someone has Butters and he gets 160? Or 90k for Bond, less headaches. Yeah, Nasiah, it looks really good and he's really cheap at 500k. So I could potentially do that as well. I could not get Doherty, and then I'd be able to have, or even I could not get Cadwell, I think, and then just get Doherty next week. But this way, it takes a rookie, gets a rookie off the field for me. It could blow up in my face. Sideways trade around 16. See, I could potentially correct this trade, which I can't remember who told me to get this guy here. Or maybe Marshall, even though Marshall goes to 500k, I could slap like 20, 30k on top of him. Hopefully, yes, he's got 198 break even this week, and he's got Toby Bedford, who there's a good chance that he tags him. So if he gets 100 this week, I think then hold him again the week after. Hold from not getting him, and then you might get him as low as 530. Anything less than 540 seems like an absolute bargain. Let's have a look. So here he's predicted to get, alright, here we go. So he's predicted to get 105, he'll drop 40k. Then if he gets 109 the week after, so a tag here, so that's probably about right. Break even is 127, 197. If he gets 100, he gets 40. So then, around 15, 140, 100. Is Melbourne going to tag him? He could easily jump back up and get a massive score here. So this is probably about right. I'm thinking that, I mean, our wishful thinking that he gets to 1 to 530. Unless he just gets a 60 this week, which would be awesome. would be awesome for our Supercoach teams. Hey Vero, how you going, buddy? You gaming? That's very nice. Good to see what you said about Mr. Obi Dabs yesterday. Or it wasn't you, it was Shane. Shane was saying that he might be partnered, which was excellent. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Nice to see you. Yeah, round 16, you reckon 530. I think it's reasonable to look at him. I just hope he gets that tag this week and gets, really do hope he gets a 60, and then the week after he'll have a massive break even, and then he could get down around 520. And if he got to 520, I don't know if I'd be able to resist. I would move heaven and earth with 2 trades, whatever, to get him in. And like we talked about, so that would leave me, if I get Mills, if I just get Mills, then I have 9 trades. And if I go down and get somebody, like, say I went down, got another 110, 180k in the bank, and then tried to get a Butters that way, I have to go down twice. This is another reason. So even if Butters is at 540, the most money I can get next week is 520. No matter what I do, the most money I can get next week is 520 before I make any trades. Or after making a trade, like a Kako for a 99k guy. So even if Butters is 540 next week, and I don't get Doherty, I can't afford him. I could only afford him if I didn't go Cadwell and just went Doherty instead of Doherty instead of Marek, which I think that's probably a little bit too risky. It means I'm keeping Levi Ashcroft, and I'd be wanting to go Levi Ashcroft up to Butters. So that is an option too. We could just not go Cadwell, even though I think Cadwell, for a cheap guy who can, kind of fill out my midfield. My midfield doesn't look great, let's be honest, at the end of the season. Even if I've got Butters here at the end of the season, and say, Mills there, you still got a Sheasel or Sinclair here. It means my midfield will be Bont, Brayshaw, Dacos, Rao, Sheasel, Cadwell. Potentially Doherty would be living there, hopefully scoring at about a 90 to 100 or around 100, and then Lindsay would be a Primo, a Butters, or someone like that. So that would be the perfect world, and it doesn't look that great, right? Then my forward line, that's keeping Green. Coming into the Supercoach finals, I would hopefully have 4 trades, 1 for each week. So we're keeping, those from my 10. If I use 3 more, that's 7 trades, gives me 3 trades for injuries. Now, if I remember correctly, last year was a shitload of injuries in the last few weeks, so I hope that doesn't happen this year. If that happens, we're just going to have no trades. And even though I'm playing for league, I might catch a lot of people in those last few weeks who don't have any trades. Some of these top teams who are going to have, they're coming out of the buys where they're talking about 4 trades and 3 trades. If they do that and they get a couple of injuries, when it comes to those last few weeks, they might not have any trades, and they might have a 0 on their field. It's going to help them that they have the flex a little bit, but it would only take a week, like we had the week where McRae and Finn Callahan and Jason Hall-Francis all went down. If they have one of those weeks and they're all out to the end of the season, there goes all of their trades, and they can be left with 0s on the field. And so if it was someone like me, even though I'm playing for leagues and I have like 4 trades up my sleeve and I have a full team, as opposed to they have 23 players playing in the last couple of weeks, then maybe I catch them a little bit there. Yes, this is the worry, right? Marshall to Butters, maybe. I think these are all luxury trades for me, Paris. For you, I can understand. You're one of these people that you might as well, throw the crap at the wall and see if it sticks. And if you run out of trades in the season, you run out of trades. If you don't run out of trades, you might win 50k. I mean, you're definitely still in it. You're definitely still in with a shot. So, you know, a few pod picks from you, and I think you're definitely still in it. Maybe if you want to win the 50k, it's a decent idea for you to fade Butters. I don't know if that's... I think that could be crazy, but who knows, you know? Everyone is obviously going to get Butters, and a lot of people are getting Bont. I thought a lot of people wouldn't pay up for Bont this week. And I got him like 2 weeks ago and paid 20 or 30k for him. Seems like in the top, excuse me, in the top... in the top amount of players, say the top 5%, can we have a look at trading in? We can. Most popular trades over here, you guys can't really see it. Trading in, Bonta's number 3 in the top 5%. Over 12,000 people are getting him in. Behind Clark and Pedler, Bonta's number 3 and Jai Cadwell is number 4. And for some crazy reason, Tom McCarthy, the Eagles 99k, is number 5. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's crazy talk. Don't do that. Unless you're just wanting a 0 on your thing. Yeah, so a lot of people are bringing in Bont. So I kind of did it thinking... Well, 1, I thought I might have got a big score the other week and I didn't. 2, I just wanted him in my team. I played with my heart instead of my head, and was like, and if I had that extra 100k, I mean, this Cadwell I could have got, you know, basically any primo that I wanted. I would have had 600k here. It could have been a Libba, you know, it could have been Ed Richards, could have been anyone. I could have had here, and I would have had, you know, 100k extra. But, you know, we did what we did. The Button is running out of funds, yeah. So I am considering for my team and what I'm aiming for, I am considering the anti-fade of Butters. And the other thing I'm thinking is with Rosie out of the team, he is the number 1 tag option, right? He's the one you're going to tag. Who else are you going to tag? If Rosie was still in the midfield, I'd say, they could go either way. With Rosie out, when there's a tag, surely it goes to Butters. And so that means maybe he's not going to be the amazing player that we all hope he is, just because I bet he still scores the occasional 160, but he might drop a 70. You know, overall, if you're going for overall rank, that still might be okay, because his 160 might make up for the 70 that he gets, right? That over 2 weeks, if he scores an average of 220 over 2 weeks, it's still better than a player that gets 80 both weeks and gets 160, right? So if you're going for overall score, he could still be the one you really want. But for me, where I'm going for a weekly, you know, I want to win each week for my leagues. If he scores me a 60 or a 70 one week and someone else has him, that could easily make a win. Get a win for me. Yeah, and that's why Paris, unlike, I'm not in the same situation with you. I've given up on my overall rank. It's not that I don't care about my overall rank, I just care less. Like we talked about before, what does Seano care more about? And this is what you got to... Everyone plays Supercoach differently, and it's a game, and we want to make it happy. So what do I care more about? Right now, I'm in 6,000th place. We've dropped from... We were in 2,500 only 2 weeks ago. Now we're in 6,000th place, 6,759. What do I care more about? If I drop out to like between 10 and 15,000 by the end of the year, and I win my league, or I burn all my trades and I finish in 4,000th spot. I tell you what, I care about winning my league a lot more important. The bragging rights of my friends for a whole year is worth much more to me than 10,000 spots. I mean, sure, as a content creator, it seems a bit nicer if you can say to people, I finished in the top 2,000 last year or whatever. But personally, for my happiness, I want to win that league. Thank you, DVRL. Thank you. Still my second worst score of the year. And super annoying was that I had, for a bye round, I had most of my team playing. I only had a couple of people out last week, and a lot of people had, like, I think I had 3 primos out last week. A lot of people had 4, 5, 6 primos out, and I still only scored a 1709. You know, it's just none of my primo options went big. Like Sinclair and Whitfield, they did okay, but they didn't go huge like we know they can. Zorko crapped the bed. Rachel 123, fine. Dacos and Rao did fine. But, you know, nobody really just, like, Gorn only got a 110. Petrarch got 88. Warner, Rankin let us down. So nobody really, I mean, Marshall let us down, even though it's against Gorn. So I'll take that 89 against Gorn any day of the week, to be honest. But none of my primos just went big. And I'm sick of this prediction crap. Like, I'm predicted to make 2,074 this week. You're like, ooh, that looks like a good score, Seano. 2,024, you'd take that, especially after 1,700 last week. I would. But look at this. Look at this. So Whitfield is predicted to get 132. 132? That's a huge score. Like, you predicted him to get 132. Zorko got a 60 last week. Now he's predicted to get 100. Not break even. 113. So that's actually probably about right. Bont 128, probably about right. 105, Matt Rowell 94, can do more. So this week's actually looks okay. She's all 100. I'd be happy if she's got 100. Like last week, these scores were like Zorko's predicted to get 130. Whitfield was predicted to get 130. I was like, Jesus, you got high hopes for these guys. Like this week, Gorn's predicted to get 140, and Sherry's predicted to get 170. They're big scores. English. Me foul English? That's impossible. Yes, lots of English goes on today, Viral. In the other type of streaming I do, if you put exclamation point English. Let's see, have we got it here? I don't know if we've got it. Did you hear it? I don't even know if I've got it set up so you can hear things off the monitor. Maybe you heard it, maybe you're not. Yeah, so a lot of high predictions. Like this week predicted to get 132. This week seems a little bit more normal. This week they're like, maybe Seano's team isn't going to score 1 million points every single week. You know, maybe we'll more. So I think this week's prediction is a little bit more like it should be. Yeah, Paris, that's what. When I do a bit of Twitch streaming as well. I have done, and on there you can make commands where people can have like funny commands where they put exclamation, and I have like 50 of them. And because I screw up my words, as you guys know so far, anytime someone's put exclamation English, it's like you do the old Ralph Wiggum, like, me foul English? That's impossible. So I kind of like this Doherty pick if he's named. The team's still not out yet. Crew, let me know if the teams get named for tomorrow night's match at any time. Western Bulldogs versus Hawthorn. So the only person we care about there is maybe as Huswaite plays. If Huswaite is named, maybe we care about that. Otherwise, Western Bulldogs, I mean, obviously Bont and Dale are playing unless there's a disaster. And I don't have any Hawthorn players. So, you know, I think that's fine. Yeah, so if I can get 270 this week, we'll be pretty happy. 6:25, yeah, so I mean, we're in Perth time, so that's 20 minutes time. We'll stay on. We won't get off until those teams are announced, just because we want to have a look at him. Yeah, 2 hours in front of me. I'm in the past. I'm living in the past compared to you guys. Let's just sort out the team, so how it will look this week. We'll let Campbell Gray, I believe, plays I think Richmond has one of the earlier games early on, so we'll let him take a swing. And if he misses, we'll bring in Clark or Carroll. I'm really praying that Carroll holds his position. We really need him to play up through these buys. Yes, we can. We can certainly do that. And we add the rivalry. Rivalry was added. Did I not add you as a rival? You're gone. You're gone. Is that right? No, that's that is McLovin's name. Yours the Bayside Spuds. Yours is the Bayside Spuds. There we go. There we go. Poor Rio. We spent ages looking for his team the other day when he was on, and it was all because I can't fucking spell. All because I couldn't spell. Poor Rio. He's like, you moron, just put in my name. And I'm like, I'm trying to put in your name. It's not working. And he's like, you're an idiot. Yes, I was an idiot. I was looking directly. He wrote his name in chat and I still spelled it wrong. All right, buddy. Let's see. You are you doing trainer? You said, let's go. Who did you say your trades were again this week? Trainer to Clark. I assume it makes the most sense. Then you're just chucking Rosie on there, and you've got a Rosie or a back line. Pardon the pun. You've got lots. Everyone's playing. You got chucking Chuck Sinclair on there, Chuck Rosie here. You've got Clark Gray and Carroll all as options. Probably do the same as me. Have Gray as your sub, as your emergency, and then chuck on Sinclair if he does well, or maybe give Carroll a shot or Clark a shot. If who do you reckon's got the potential to score more? Probably Clark's got the potential to score more than Carroll, right? Playing a wing, and he might score some goals. If you have to have a choice, if Gray shits the bed and gets a 30, you're going to go. Who are you going to go? You're going to try Carroll. You're going to try Clark. I might just get a water. I'll be right back. I'm a bit dry. I'll be right back, crew. And then we'll go through this Paris. I'll be right back.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Sorry about that, buddy. Carroll's terrible. Clark is way better. I think that's where I would go to. I think Clark has the better upside. But I'll give Gray a shot first because he's been actually doing okay. This will be interesting to see too. Is Gray dropped? Is Noah Bolter? I think Noah Bolter comes back in, right? There's no... according to Richmond, I believe they think Noah Bolter is the best in the best 22. Does Gray get moved to the bench? Does he get moved forward? What happens with him? I think he's a really good one to have the emergency on this week because I think anything could happen. He could be played as a key forward and get 20 points this week. We just don't know what's going to happen with him, so I think it's a perfect opportunity to have him on the bench with the emergency and bring on Clark. Train to Clark, Levi Ashcroft to Bont, Cleary to Pedler. What do you feel about Pedler, Paris? Do you feel like he's got decent job security? Leaves you with 9 trades, 4K in the bank. 9 for one more upgrade, which most likely will require 3 trades. So leaves you with 6 for injuries the rest of the season. Yeah. And then as you get closer to the end of the season, so if you've still got 6 trades where there's 6 weeks to go, perfect time to sideways, or 6 trades with maybe 7 weeks to go or 8 weeks to go. You get someone a good value and you're like, I want to jump on him. I think that's a nice amount of trades to have. Kind of what I'm looking at trying to have around about. So your back line's going to be so you're going to need someone else to fill out your back line. You'll have Rosie. Still got one rookie in the back line. None of these guys are going back. Here you got Brayshaw, Neal, Merritt, Dunkley, Dacos, Petrarca, Rao, Bont. Where's Shearer going to go? Oh, Petrarca goes in the forward line. Shearer goes here. That Zach Merritt role. Did you watch DR's podcast where he said he spoke to Zach Merritt and he said he didn't say he was going to say he's going to spend more time in that back role, but there's a potential that he will. One defender, which will be Nas. That's a nice looking back line. Sinclair, Zorko, Sheasel, Roberts. I mean, your sideways trade could be Sheasel if the shit roll continues later on. Rosie and Nas. That looks very nice, where it just shows how your team's going a lot better than mine, where I would love to have Nas, but I'm probably going to have Mills as my last one. It's unfortunate, even though, I guess I've got Whitfield there, which you won't have, but I like that back line a lot. I like Nas a lot, and I think at 500k, anyone who can afford Nas next week should be jumping on him. I think he's probably going to be the best value player next week after his bye this week, and anyone who could afford 500k should be jumping on him. Brayshaw, Neal, Merritt, Dunkley, Dacos, Rao, Ash, Bont and Shearer. You'll have Gawn and Cherry or Marshall, Smith, Warner, Raglan, Bolton. So Petrarca comes round from Day Wicks and Daniel comes on from Cleary. So yeah, it's going to look pretty good, buddy. Probably Marshall is your other potential sideways at this point that you're thinking, I would say. But if you've got the trades for it, maybe a Sheasel, maybe a Marshall. Maybe Roberts up to a Whitfield or a Jordan Clark. If you have that sideways trade and a bit of money coming into those final few weeks, especially if you're like hovering around that, 60 to 20. If you have a few good weeks now when you come out of the buys in a few weeks and you find yourself in the top 20 or something like that, you definitely want to try and, get the sideways up there and try and get the Roberts to, someone, an extra primo, either a Clark or a Whitfield. You might want to try and get Marshall up to, another primo midfielder maybe. Whoever that primo midfielder might be, the fallen value, good midfielder. Marshall has a horror run. Yeah, he does, but look, he scored an 89 versus Gawn. How much worse does it get? Does it really get too much worse? I know he plays Sherry. Well, if he can get 89 against Gawn, surely he can get 89 against Sherry. He could definitely drop a stinky 60 in your team, though. So I think he's got potential to get you a big score, and he's got potential to get you a low score. He's a very flexy type of position, but yeah, sidewaysing him to some primo midfielder would be like if he turns out to be your Butters. I'll take Butters over Marshall. 55, yes, that is diabolical. That is correct. He does have the potential to drop a big steaming you-know-what in your team. So, yep, you gotta know that there's always a chance that he's going to leave a big steaming turd on the field for you when you look in your team on a Sunday afternoon. or it'll be Monday afternoon. I hate these public holiday games. We're going to have to wait to Monday afternoon to find out our score this week. We're going to be, suffering for an extra day till we find out what our actual end score is going to be. And I hate it with the Monday games. You've got to wait that extra time. So my video for my ranked video won't come out till Tuesday morning next week due to work and to the late game. So if you're looking for my team review video, I had it out Sunday night this week. I was one of the first people to get it out. It's maybe why I got quite a few views this week, because maybe not many other people were watching. There was nobody else for them to watch, so they took they went for the cheapo option and they took a Seano review stream and some of one of the others. They could have gone for a DR or a Skodfather, but they couldn't afford him. He wasn't out yet, so they went for a Seano. They went the good Sammy's version of the review streams this week. By the way, if you're watching now and you would like to leave me a subscribe, a like, or a comment down below, or all of the above would be nice, please do. And if you want to know when I do go live, hit that notification. We could go live again tomorrow. Who knows, we could even go live again tonight, but I doubt that very much. I think I'm going to play a game tonight. And Jackson killed Wits. Jackson played as a midfielder this week and still scored a 122. Anyone at Barry got Jackson in, congratulations. He played it and he killed it. Here's the Cleary 6. Imagine what score I would have got this week, buddy, if I had had a 6 as well instead of the Tom Green that you convinced me to get. 1759. You still beat my score even with that 6 being rubbed out, and a day Wicks of 27. I don't understand. How did I score so low? I don't understand how I scored so low. I really don't. I look at your team here, I'm like, surely my team looks better than that for this week, for the week just gone by with all the people out and stuff, and I still scored low. Yeah, I wasn't very happy when I saw my score this week, crew. I was like, this was supposed to be the good week. No, replace that word skill with luck, Vero, and that's where it is. I'm already making some plans for next season. How long till these teams are still not out? I guess 6:25. It's not 6:25 yet. So Paris, yep, your plans seem good to me. Any interest in, I guess, if you have the choice out of Nas or Mills, you're always going to take Nas, right? Guaranteed runs on the board. You don't know what Mills is doing. You don't really need the money, you just need the points. Not like some of us where we need the money. We just need to get some bodies on the field. You've got a pretty solid full team. You just need to get the best of the best. Simply the best. Insert Tina Turner singing there. And I think your team still looks really good, mate, and 69 is still a really good score. 69. It's a good number. It's a good. If you're gonna be honest, if you're gonna be at a ranking, 69 is a good ranking to be on. Just saying. Don't know where your minds are, guys, but I'm just saying. 100%, yeah. You need proven players at this stage. I mean, difference between you and me is I don't think I'll be able to afford Nas, and I've just got to take the money. I think I just got to take the bargains. As if I really want Doherty in my team, but I just think it's getting a rookie, just like we did with Green. I guess I don't really want Green in my team either, but Green and Doherty. And the other thing is too, for me, a couple of pods, right? A couple of pods for me in my league matches, which the matches we want to win. If Doherty comes out, smashes it, and Green comes out, smashes it, it's a good chance I'm going to win that round. If there's 120, 130 here and 120, 130 here, and other people don't have them, someone's got Zach Butters here and he gets tagged and he gets a 60, or a 70, there's a good chance I'm going to win that week. There's also just as good chance that I'm going to lose that week, but the other advantage is I've got the rookie off the field. I don't have the, Ashcroft gets subbed out on a 30 or something, it'd be a disaster. I just want to have a quick look at my team. and see how this round 16 bye looks. So this is how my team should be set up. We're just going to do this for this when it comes to this round. 1, 2, 3, hopefully 4, hopefully 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, not likely, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, hopefully 19, hopefully 20. But that's quite a lot of hopefullys there. So that's 20. If Sims for some reason is not playing, it's 19. If Carroll and Gray aren't playing, that's 17. That's only 17 players. That's what worries me a little bit about getting Cadwell this week. But that could be the time. Like, I have an option of a sideways trade there too, which could be like a Green up to a Butters or up to a somebody. That could get me out of trouble. The Green, I mean, Green can still potentially make us some money. It would have been nice if he had a big hit this last week, because he could have made quite a bit of money. Unfortunately, with his 57. But if he could come out and smash 100 this week, he'll go up, chuck another 15, 25k. So, you know, he could go up, be over 400. And then if he could, by some miracle, get 100 the week after, he could potentially, you know, maybe he could be at 410, 415, maybe, you know, and then maybe, you know, I've made a little bit of cash. He went up to 15k this week. So I've made 15k. If I could make another 30, 40, you know, hopefully 50 or 60k by the time round 16 comes. What's that? We've got 13, 14, 15, 3 rounds. So if he smashed 100 for 3 rounds in a row, which he hasn't done the entire season, I don't think. He got 2 in a row in rounds 4 and 5 here. He's got Port and Brisbane, 2 really hard opponents. So I don't see this as... I mean, then he's got Gold Coast, West Coast, Geelong. Ooh, okay, so... I mean, potentially he goes up a little bit. Butters comes down a little bit. Chuck 100, get a 99k rookie instead of like a Kako. He can become Butters or something, or someone, a fallen primo. So that round, I'm a little bit scared. It seems okay. It seems like I've got 20 players, but you really got to watch for how many of them are rookies, and like there's no guarantee. Sims, you'd hope that Lindsay is still playing. You wouldn't hope that Lindsay's dropped. But Sims, Carroll and Gray could all be dropped and all not be there. And if all 3 of them were dropped and not there, that would mean that I would only have 17 players playing for that round, and that would be a disaster. No, I mean, probably actually for me it's not a huge disaster. For when you're playing for leagues, sometimes during the bye rounds, it's worthwhile just throwing around, and that's why in the last couple of years my overall score hasn't been that great. But I've been right high up there. Well, actually, last year I did okay. I made the finals in the leagues last year. The year before was a disaster. They've both been down on what I normally do. But I did make a good run home last year. But one of the bye rounds, I think I had like 16 players play. Like literally 2 zeros, just because I had so many people out from that round. But the other ones, I had a lot more players playing than the other teams. So that was a more valid option when there were less buys and more teams out on the same buy. Now with only the maximum of 6 teams out on each buy, I think it was a lot easier to field 18. Well, it seems like that. I should touch wood, because that round 16 could be a problem. That's why getting in Caldwell is a little bit of a risk this week. I am getting him in for Levi Ashcroft though, who is also around 16 buys. So even if I didn't get him in, Levi Ashcroft would have had to have gone. But fading Cadwell and just going like Doherty and then trying to get a Butters or someone else next week, I think I just want the score. I think I've got a better chance of winning. If we look at I keep talking about how I'm going to try and win my league. Let's look at my opponent this week. My very good friend Matt. with his team, Turley's Terrors. You might recognise if you're you know much about the Eagles, been watching for a long time. You remember Craig Turley, who used to play for the Eagles, a bit of a legend. That's his cousin, Craig Turley. He's a top bloke, Craig Turley. Got to meet him once or twice. Really, really nice guy. Yeah, that's his cousin, and it's him and his brother are couple of my best mates. And so let's have a look at this matchup. Unique players on. I'm predicted to beat him, but he hasn't adjusted his team yet. And as we know, these predictions are liars. I was predicted to get 2,000 last week, got 1,709. We have a lot of different players. We have a lot. Like, look at the unique players. We have a lot. We have a lot of unique players. You can't actually see here. Let's see if I can. Can I do this for you guys? Maybe if I move it across like this. There we go. Remind me to move that back, otherwise it's going to look a bit weird. Alright, so let's have a look who he's got to bring back on the field. So this week he's got Marshall out, Reedy, who's sitting on his bench, Reed, Brayshaw, Bolton, all out. I would not be surprised if he's upgrading Reed this week. Maybe, I mean, he's going to make him some money though, right? At 34, maybe he just keeps him and hopes he makes some more money for him next week as a body on the field for the rest of the buys. So coming back on the field, he'll have Carroll. This rookie's been playing, right? So he's going to play. He's probably only going to get him 40, but he's going to play. Simpson back on, Sheasel back on, Moraes will probably get a game, Fraser and Ed Richards. So he hasn't quite adjusted his team yet. So once he adjusts his team, I'm still going to have less outs than him, but he's got some very good players there. And let's have a look in our heads up who we've got different. So he's got the luggage, the man with the luggage. Thank God it wasn't last week that I played him, otherwise it could have been trouble. He's got Dunks, Heaney, Gray, same as me, except Gray's on the bench. He's got Cleary. He's probably going to trade Cleary this week. You would think that's going to be one of his trades this week. It's going to be Cleary. Smith will probably play. Holmes, Miller, Buse. Maybe he gets rid of Buse for... no, he's still going to make money for him. What about Kay? He's still going to make money for him. Pryor, maybe he jumps Pryor for Clark. That's probably his go, I would think. If I was him, I'd be getting rid of either Pryor and making some money for Clark, Essendon Boy for an Essendon Boy too, or I'd be getting rid of Cleary for maybe even a Pedlar. He might do two. He might go Cleary to Pedlar and Pryor to Clark, or he might swing someone like a Gray into the forward line and just get rid of Cleary maybe. So it's going to be a tight matchup. This could go either way, which Matt usually always has a good team every year. He's usually right up there in the top 8. So this match could go either way, and that's why I was so disappointed last week, where I was supposed to win by 250 points and I ended up losing by 50 points. Last week was supposed to be my easy win. All these weeks coming are going to be, could be quite difficult for me to win. It can go either way. So I could potentially come out of the buys with dropped well out of the 8 in my leagues, which is going to make me very unhappy. Then we won't be going for top score. We won't be going for ranking or for leagues. But the good thing with the leagues, though, yes, it's nice to finish the top 4, but really you only have to finish in the top 8. Just like anything can happen. I've had friends of mine have finished in the top 8 before and then come through and won the whole thing. So it's not undoable. It's just nice to miss that second game. And also, while we're talking about that, me personally, like I was saying, that Zach Butters is going to potentially be tagged in those first 2 games of the finals. Well, if I'm in the top 4, that second game, if I can win the first game, that's not going to matter anyway.
So, maybe Zach Butters is just one that I don't think I'm going to be able to resist it if he gets below, 530. I just think there's just way too much value there to be had. Way too much value there to have. Let's play the what if game. Teams are still not out, I assume. Yep, here we go. We've got some teams. Okay, Bulldogs, Treloar, Dolan, Gardner in, DeRay, Jason Johannes illness, okay, and Oscar Baker admitted. For the Hawks, they got Mitchell, Butler, and Ramsden in. Sicily's injured. Watson is illness. So you were talking about trading Watson. Someone was talking about trading Watson here. We were talking about before. Definitely, I would be trading him too if you're still here. I'm sorry, I don't remember which team we looked at was looking to trade out Watson. I think we already said that we thought that'd be a good downgrade to Pedler. So I think if you're still in chat, that's probably the way I go. And Scrimshaw, managed. Right, now let's just have, I'm interested, where is Treloar named? On the bench. That's unfortunate. I really wanted to see where he was going to get named. The Bont is named as a follower, which is nice. Not at half forward or anything like that. Not that this really means anything. Tom Liberatore, also the Followder. What the? English? I failed English? That's impossible. Senna, Fraser, Richards and Williams. Bailey, another Bailey Williams. And over here in Hawthorn, Battle, Barras, Mitchell, straight on the field. He's probably taking Scrimshaw's spot right though. It's coming straight in for him. Managed when he comes back, he might get dropped. Impey, Weddle, Calm, Imon, Sanners. Oh, that's interesting. Connor Nash is back. Our friend Huswaite is not even an emergency, so that doesn't fill us with a lot of confidence for the future for Huswaite. Josh Ward as a follower, Newcomb. So seems reasonable. Any predictions for this game, crew? People think Hawthorn have been not in they're killing it form lately. Anyone think Bulldogs have got a chance? I mean, they've always got a chance. Does anyone think they're a shoe-in? Do they have the odds? I think sometimes they have the odds here, right? First game, they reckon Bulldogs are favourite at Marvel Stadium. Wow, by quite a lot. Bet are 1.43 on the $1.43 to $2.85. Bulldogs are favourite, they reckon. Okay. Might have to run down the TAB. What do we think happens with, you got Ed Richards and you've got Libba. Does Treloar take some of their CBAs? Treloar can only play a midfielder, right? Treloar's not a forward. If anyone's going forward, Bont goes forward for a little bit. But I don't mind that so much because 25 possessions and 3 goals from Bont is a monster score. So I don't hate Bont going forward. He can score just as well forward as long as he can in the midfield. And he's obviously going to be in the midfield a fair bit as well. Ed Richards, it's not going forward, right? He's only going to play in the midfield. Liberatore is the one. He's guaranteed to play in the midfield. There's no way Liberatore goes forward. So he's locked in as, he's not going to lose any CBAs, I would say. Ed Richards might lose a few CBAs and Bont might lose a few CBAs. I'd assume the rotation is those 4 with the occasional, Freya. I don't know about Bailey Williams. Don't know how many CBAs you'll be seeing, buddy.
unless they're going to ease Treloar into it with a bit of a time on bench type of scenario. So that's kind of interesting. There's no new players there. There's nothing super exciting going on there. Nothing super exciting. Alright, what do you reckon? You think that's enough? I think that might be enough. Nobody else out there wants me to have a bit of a look at their team. A big thank you to Paris, Viral. We had Jack, we had Nicholas, we had Alex and Ollie. All appreciate you guys being here very much. Loved having a look at your teams, having a chat about your teams. Please give me that like and subscribe. After last, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he doesn't get a sniff after last week. Just for you, VRL. Can you hear that, VRL? Do I actually have the sound switched on, or are you only seeing it? I don't think you can hear it, can you? Thanks, Paris. You're the best, mate. Really hope your team goes really well, mate. I might jump on for a little bit. You can hear it? Oh, good. I really hope you have a better week this week, mate, and you climb back up some of those spots and you find yourself coming out of these buys and like the top 20 and have a really good shot at getting that number one spot, buddy. I know there's still a few of you watching. Like I said, not so much for this year, but for next year, keep an eye out. I know this is my first year of doing my videos, but we'll definitely have some leagues for you guys next year. We'll have a YouTube league, and I'll do some drafts where I'll be able to for you guys to join in, and that could be a lot of fun here chatting with you guys if we're in the same league and if we're in the same draft scenarios or draft leagues. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. I hope it sounds like a bit of fun to you guys. I don't think I've crapped on long enough, I would say. And so, like I said, if you really want to, I really appreciate you all guys being here. Really love going through your teams. I really like chatting about Supercoach. And VRL, I know you couldn't give a rat's about Supercoach, but it's always nice to see you as well, buddy. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I may do another live video tomorrow, so if you hit that notification button, you might see me go live tomorrow. If I do, hopefully we can have a chat then. Otherwise, I hope you all have an awesome weekend, and I hope you all score a huge Supercoach score, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Thank you very much, and yeah, we'll see you then.